Nashville, Tennessee. Music City. That's right. Your boy Izzy Presley will be there. Rockin' Pod Expo. August 6th through the 8th. Will I be alone? You just have to wait and see. Because I may either bring the Mississippi Queen. I may bring the face of Metal Edge Magazine, or maybe even the voice of God himself. You just gotta come and see. Yes, I will be there, but don't forget, there will be rare hair. There will be my little brother, Ace Von Johnson. There will be the brothers and the Talisman. There will be people that have had this strap long before me, even though I bought it out of a box of gimmicks. The great Matt Pinfield, the great Mark Goodman, and yes, even the almighty Ricky Rackman. So what I'm telling you people, out there in internet land, run, do not walk to your ticket office and get your candy ass, cretinous humanoid butts down to Nashville, Tennessee, baby, Music City, for the Rockin' Pod Expo. You know I'm traveling in style, baby. I'm Izzy Presley, and he approved this message.
Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
My liver's all twisted up. But you know what I did? I loaded up with alcohol, more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip? Orange whip? 3 orange whips.
So you're bored, are ya? I've come here to break your monotony. Let me have my piece, because I'm shooting with this one, folks. I don't care, man.
The unscripted, uncensored, loose cannon of commentary.
Why did you say that? Why? What? You come out with stink like that? Poop. Your poop mouth. Poop out of your mouth.
See, son? Old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an out-of-work bum look a lot alike, Daddy.
I've got a midget friend, an albino friend, and another friend who thinks Lord of the Rings is real. Together we call ourselves the Unfuckables.
Quinton is in. Let the fun begin.
Body touch.
You guys are an asshole, man.
I've never heard of that.
Hello, Hollywood. Hello, world. Hello, my loyal minions. It is good to see you, and always good to be seen. My name is Izzy Presley, and this, of course, is Metal Edge Magazine's Another Fucking Podcast. Oh my God, do we have a good one for you today. Before we get into it, make sure you guys all hit up all the social medias at Real Izzy Presley all the way across the board, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course the show page is Another Effing Podcast. And while you're at it, I mean, we're all Kiss Geeks here. Hit up Ace Tribute on Facebook and the Twitter.
Oh, shameless plugging already. If anyone had 40 seconds for the over under on the shameless plug, you won.
Hey, look at the bright side.
Next up, can we just get the Baz imitation out of the way right now? Just that way.
Dude, at least I'm not putting my fucking PayPal on there anymore. Jesus Christ, that man you hear yelling at me, that is Paul Gargano, my cohort, my Garth, if you will, from Metal Edge Magazine. Good day, eh?
Hey, good day.
Good to see you.
May the 4th be with you all.
Yes, we
My best side is the dark side.
Yes, I'm a dork. Welcoming back from Stone Sour, ladies and gentlemen. I got him away from his Jar Jar Binks shrine, Mr. Ray Mayorga. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Did you? And it's Roy, motherfucker.
Did I say Ray?
God, yes, you did. Again.
Ray Mayorga.
Yeah, there
and
you
he
go.
hasn't even,
no, not even close.
I have not started drinking yet. I haven't started. Roy, did you know that at up at Skywalker Ranch they actually have Jar Jar in carbonite?
I saw it. Well, that's where he belongs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And also from Anthrax, Mr. Charlie Benante. Yay! And from I don't know which band to go with.
All the above.
There's this
All of the
one,
above, like-
this one. Mike Portnoy is here, ladies and gentlemen. Hey! All right, we got to start this off right. In the words of my good friend Stone Cold Steve Austin, crack one for the working man. Ah, yeah.
I want to know why everybody's talking with a lisp today. Everywhere I look, everyone's like, "May the 4th be with you." It's like everybody's got a lisp today.
I think they're all 4th be with you.
Are they from Barcelona?
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
It's either that or we caught the Paul Stanley disease.
Barcelona.
We are all here on May the 4th to talk about one of the 3 things that sealed my fate of never, ever getting married and dying alone. Those 3 would be professional wrestling, Star Wars, and the greatest band of all time, Kiss.
That's right.
Round 2, we are doing Love Gun versus Rock and Roll Over versus Destroyer. This is going to be a good one. Oh, yeah, sure. Fucking 8 tracks.
Cards, yeah.
And the thing about the 8 tracks, the order is different. So I can't look at these as we go song by song. I can't use the 8 tracks.
Did you guys ever see this? This is a cork. This is a cork turntable mat for the.
That's what I have on my turntable.
You have this one? Yeah,
actually, mine's a
color. Oh, that's rad.
Oh,
is that made
dude,
out of
that's
cork?
fucking killer.
That made out of cork?
No, it's whatever the shit that turntable things are made out of.
Yeah, our guitar player Josh got this for me for my birthday. It's pretty cool. That's awesome. That one.
Yeah, but this is what I actually keep on my turntable at all times.
Yeah, same.
Of course you do.
By the way, just for the record, Charlie, I'm still drinking your coffee.
Yes.
Wow, you drink coffee at night?
Yeah,
this is not night for you. It's evening.
I'd be up till like 5 in the morning.
It's not night, and I've been up since like 8, so it kind of keeps me rolling.
Rolling. Are we gonna do this one too? Are we mixing this in?
Well, that takes us past 9 tracks.
This version?
I think.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, Paul didn't describe what we're doing with that 9th, 10th track, that hidden track. Paul, why don't
we have Rocket?
Yeah, Paul, you break the news.
So Destroyer technically has 9 tracks. Rock and Roll Over has 10. Love Gun has 10. But there's the hidden track at the end of Do You Love Me? So we're going to just count Rock and Roll Party as the 10th track on Destroyer, since it's probably not worse than a cover song anyway.
Well, why couldn't we count the beginning of Detroit Rock City as a track? Because that's a whole.
Yeah.
That I always found. I mean, I guess we're going to get into it, but I always found that really bizarre that they opened that album with at least 2 or 3 minutes of sound effects, which is really pretty unprecedented. It's pretty strange.
Bob Ezrin.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny when I used to be in radio, the fucking the version that we had in rotation was the one from fucking Double Platinum. Like,
just so you would have a clean start.
Yeah, but it's like, but no, they want to hear the fucking album track with the intro. So I made them put that in, you know, just little shit like that. And I got rid of the studio version of Rock and Roll All Night.
I hate that intro for Detroit Rock City. Wait, are we talking about what intro are we talking about? My dog was barking.
Yeah, Detroit Rock City, the whole.
Yeah, I hate that intro.
Why?
Oh my god, it's too long. It's just like
it's
too long. It's too long. And I honestly, maybe someone can explain to me what it adds to the song, because like I feel like I should be listening to some story happening in the background.
Well, that's the point. It's setting up the story of the song.
Yeah, I don't.
And they're listening to Kiss, Rock and Roll All Night.
He's on his way to the show. He's on his way to the show, and he gets killed. There you go.
Yeah,
he had a nice meal. He had a nice meal. He's watching the news. You can hear it in the background. He drives to the show, gets killed. Doesn't even see Kiss.
And then he
really
becomes
what I
the
wanted
king.
to set the table.
and then he becomes the king of the nighttime world.
He's dead.
He's dead. And then also he's the god of thunder.
Yeah, he rises from the ashes.
Rises from the ashes.
I think it's really cool. And here you have Bob Ezrin, who ended up doing The Wall and Welcome to My Nightmare. So he made it, very cinematic and theatrical.
Right.
My only problem with it is that they should have had a separate ID for the start of Detroit Rock City. For DJs or people that just don't want to hear it every single time they hear the album.
You know what? I'd feel different about it if they had that.
I don't know. See, I do want to hear it every single time I hear the album. For me, it's naked without it.
That's what makes the world go around. You like Naked Kiss, and I don't.
Just saying.
That's why we work well together, Izzy.
Exactly. Charlie, Amber from the chat room says Paul Stanley wants to drink your Folgers.
What?
This is much.
You don't know that reference?
Folgers.
I know the reference. I was like, what?
Well played. That gets a Pat Fontaine laugh.
I love
Thank
that
you,
commercial. Actually, I love that Folgers commercial.
Which one of these records did you guys have first?
Destroyer.
Actually, I'm ashamed to say I think
I had this first.
Maybe
this is what I had first.
Was it Love Gun? No, it couldn't have been Love Gun. I don't know.
I came off of Alive, so I naturally just went to Destroyer.
See, I bought backwards.
I went, and I backwards too. For me, I think I had Destroyer first on 8-track actually, but I had other albums before I had Destroyer and Love Gun.
Yeah, Destroyer was my very first one, and that was my Christmas present in 1976. I was 4. Santa was good to me that year. Santa corrupted my life.
That's exactly when I got rock and roll over when I was 6 for Christmas.
And see, that was the difference for me. I came in late because my parents weren't listening to this. They were listening to Peter, Paul, and Mary, and
they were listening to Peter, Paul, and Mary. We were listening to Peter, Paul, Ace, and Gene.
That's right.
Exactly. So but I didn't get into it until later. And the first album I got was Dynasty after Alive 2. That was the first studio album I got, and then I went backwards.
Wow. See, I think people that didn't see the first episode we did, they need to go back because we laid out all of our credentials.
We laid out all of this,
qualifications
exactly.
and all the Jericho bashing. It was all done in the first episode. We got to rewatch that episode to get all of our Kiss backstories.
Oh, Lori from Australia says, "Good day. Just got back from the record store where he bought the very first Kiss record." So, all right,
nice.
All right.
I will say this: I can't remember if I mentioned this in the last one. I hope I didn't. But the first records that I ever bought with my own money were the solo albums. Actually,
okay.
I don't remember if I told that story.
I don't think you did. I don't
remember that.
But that was like literally the first time I saved up my own money, and my Aunt Sarah drove me to the nearest record shop, and I bought all 4 albums with money that I saved up with my own, and then I brought them all to school, and somebody stole them out of my locker. So I had to rebuy them again, but I didn't buy Peter's. I only bought the other 3.
They took Peter's.
You didn't rebuy them.
Yeah, and then a week later, Peter's ended up back in my locker.
Exactly.
I love you, Peter. I'm only kidding.
Wait a minute. You didn't go and rebuy the most underrated Kiss album there is?
And I still haven't to this day.
Oh my God.
I have them. Actually, no, I did buy the box set of the solo albums when they came out on colored vinyl. But up until then, like, all my 8 tracks are just the other 3. All of my CDs are just the other 3. I love Peter dearly. He's my hero. But I just never made it through that album.
He's just a drummer trying to get some respect, and you can't even buy his record.
And you can't even say, well, he had a shitty voice or whatever. He had an amazing voice, Yeah.
Like,
it's just that it was more of like a country or a what would you call it, like an old school Sinatra album or something like that. It was just
it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I will fight until the day I die on the pedestal that is, in fact, the most underrated Kiss album and the best of the 4.
No.
Oh yeah. The best album, not the best Kiss record, the best album of the four.
No, are you
Oh,
insane?
God, yes. God, yes. God,
Well,
yes.
I would say the most underrated Kiss album in my book is The Elder. I'm still an Elder fan.
I would also say that Izzy's trying to get a reaction out of you, and if you just let those statements go
I'm
right
not.
by,
I'm not. I am literally, and I'll tell you why. So I listened to Casey Kasem on
Did you
Sirius
drink a lot?
XM.
Because you drink a lot? Is that why?
Well, yeah, that too. But so I listened to Casey Kasem on 70s on 7, and it was from it was like September of 78 that episode was, and Peter's album, all of those songs fit into everything that was in the top 20 from that era. Dude, that album is so much better than everybody gives credit for, and the best record of the four. I'll stand on that.
We may have to do a throwdown between. I was going to just say those three, but I guess now you got to put the four.
Now you got to do all four.
You got to do all four. Absolutely.
I'm always in for that.
That's pretty much where I fell off too. I mean, I think we talked about this last time, but
yeah,
after the solo albums, I kind of fell off at that point. I mean, I liked some of Dynasty. I didn't like Unmasked at all. I did like The Elder.
Hold on.
And I did like Creatures.
Hold on. Excuse me for 1 minute. Since Eddie Trunk's not here, let me just say, Unmasked was a great power pop album. Okay, that was that's the Eddie line. I swear to God, he somehow pushes that into his episode. Like on Sirius XM, I hear that at least 3 times a week. Unmasked is a great power pop album.
I'm not going to go through my whole Unmasked is the Taco Bell of Kiss records, because I just, oh yeah, you look at the menu and goes, oh God, that looks kind of good, and you forget how shitty it is. Then you eat it and you go, oh my God, this is fucking terrible. It's the exact same that happens to me every time I try to listen to Unmasked, except for the song Shandy.
I thought in retrospect it was such a waste that they used that album title and then didn't have it for Lick It Up.
Exactly.
You know, it was such a wasted opportunity.
Or was it on purpose?
I don't think so.
I think they just try to tease people. Was it just like the tease?
Well, I think they probably needed a gimmick at that point by what was that, 1980 or 81 at that point? I mean, I had fallen off. I was at that point listening to Motorhead and AC/DC and Maiden and Priest. I kind of outgrew Kiss. I hate to say that, but that was, I think a lot of people felt that way. So I think Kiss felt like they needed something to draw people back in and get some attention again.
So let's pretend we're going to unmask.
Well, here's an interesting question. How much, because you guys are all drummers here, except for me and Paul, obviously. The only thing he beats is his meat. Hey, how much do you guys as drummers?
There's a married joke in there.
Yeah, exactly. How much as drummers do you guys think not having Peter playing drums on Dynasty changed the sound?
I mean, I didn't even know it. I don't think it was well known back then.
Right. But now you look back.
Well, I mean, Anton's amazing, and I especially love Anton's drumming on Ace's album. But at the time, we didn't know he was on Dynasty. But I mean, Peter was my hero. I mean, he was one of my biggest heroes back then, but by far. So it didn't play into me liking or not liking an album. As far as I was concerned, I just loved him.
Right. Well, I'm just saying.
We didn't know.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, looking back on it now and hearing it and knowing it's not Peter, how much do you think that changed the sound of the band?
Oh, it changed.
I don't think that changed anything. I think the producer changed the sound of the band. I think they picked the worst guy for the worst album.
But you got to admit the drums definitely changed the sound a bit too.
I don't think that's the worst album, but I agree about the producer. I do agree about the producer.
I'm saying it's the worst album with all 4 members. Because that was
the last album with all 4, right? I mean, Peter was only on one song on that one, right?
Yeah.
Dirty Living.
Yeah. And I didn't like the sound of Dynasty either. It sounded too. It just didn't sound right. It wasn't.
Oh wait. Are you talking about Love Gun or are you talking about Dynasty?
Dynasty.
All right, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Making sure. Okay.
But I thought you were just making a joke. Anyways.
And I might be in the minority where I actually think I Was Made for Loving You is a fucking good song. Actually,
I love it now.
I love that song.
I
love it.
But even then, disco was popular, but I wasn't one of those anti-disco people. Maybe till later, but at the time, I was listening to punk rock. I was listening to Ramones and the Clash and the Sex Pistols, but I also I liked Saturday Night Fever when I saw it, and I thought that was awesome. And, the Bee Gees or whatever. So I had no problem with I Was Made for Loving You. And now if you listen to it, I think it's like a really well-written, good song, And that Ace solo is great, I think.
Desmond Child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How can you go wrong?
I love
and I like 2000 Man. I was a big Stones fan.
Probably
so I thought
that's
that was
probably
cool.
the really best cover on that Ace has made. That's on that record. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks.
I agree. Well, go ahead.
I think it was just, I don't know. At that point, they were just desperate. It just sounded like they were, trying to do something like the Stones had a hit, Rod Stewart had a hit. That was all kind of disco.
Yeah.
Hey, we should go that route. Where really they should have stuck to their love guns and just stayed true to what they really were, and not try to appeal to, this type of audience. Because if they would have just regrouped and got it back together and got, Eddie Kramer to come in or something like that, they would have made a killer. Dynasty could have been a really great record with a different producer.
I don't know if it's just me, but I always thought Dynasty, if they would have had songs from Paul's solo record and some from Ace's, and maybe a couple from Gene's, and kept I Was Made for Loving You, Dynasty would have been a better record.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean
those first couple songs
they were doing
great.
They were on the Dynasty tour, as I think we maybe talked about this last time. They were doing songs off of their solo albums as well. I agree with you, Roy. I think a lot of those songs, especially the stuff on Paul's album, would have fit right in with Kiss.
Yeah, it sounded.
But I thought Charisma was a really good Gene Simmons song.
Yeah.
And if it had a better production, it would have been like the production on the Live 2. If those songs had that production, I think it would have changed the outcome.
All right, right now the guys in my band are loving you for saying that because they all love the song Charisma.
Yeah, it's a good tune.
No, it's a good tune. It's just I don't know, but
it is
anyway. And I think the cover of Dynasty should have been the ones in the straitjackets.
Yeah.
Instead of the poster, but anyway.
Hey, but
if
at
I
least
had
we
my
get the
druthers,
at least we got the poster, and the poster's bigger. So that goes
huge. Why do we have so many opinions on what they did? It's like it never stops.
It's
because we're super fans.
Exactly.
That's what makes it so amazing, though. I was in the studio earlier with another artist, and I drove back with Andy Gould, and Andy's from the UK. So last week we did the Ace Frehley episode, which was really funny. And it turns out I found out after the fact that Andy managed Ace Frehley for a while. So we're gonna have Andy on the show telling Ace Frehley stories because he's got some great ones. But we were talking about how he just doesn't like Kiss, but we figured out the reason was Kiss. We were passionate about Kiss as kids, and he was in the UK. So by the time he came to America, Kiss was past their peak, and nobody cared. So he was just like, and it's so interesting. I think the reason why we all have the opinion is it's one of the first bands we all gelled with that we just gobbed onto, and you don't let go of them. It's just
they're distinctively 70s Americana. I mean, same reason that like Van Halen isn't necessarily appreciated over there, like they are in America. There's some bands are just full on American bands. Kiss is one of them. Van Halen's another. I can see where they wouldn't have connected with a European or English market or audience as they did in America.
And then so much of the stuff that they had over there wasn't connecting with us over here. I think the world was a lot smaller.
I don't know. I've loved everything that's come out of England. I mean, to me,
it just wasn't as big here. Like it wasn't as big here. It was more underground here. I mean, the world was smaller back then. We all had America was America. The internet didn't connect us all and make everything instant.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. It shocks me what's big, what actually worked over there. And it's like, wow, how come you got that? But like, for instance, Bon Jovi, huge in the UK. You know what I mean? Van Halen, not so huge.
Right.
So Def Leppard, not so big in the UK.
That's
over
incredible.
Here, huge. So I never understood it, Very strange.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Well, Mike, I heard Soto telling that story about when you guys were recording that or doing that tour over there, and when he'd run into the crowd and you guys are doing like Van Halen, and like putting the mic in front of people and nobody knew the fucking song.
Yeah. Well, we were doing In the Cradle Will Rock for our encore every night. You know, in America it was great, but once we got over there, you could see it. We put out a DVD from Romania or something like that, and Jeff goes into the audience and nobody even knew the chorus of that song. Everyone's like, I don't know, what is this song? Is this a B-side that you guys record? I mean, they didn't know. It's
Well,
just,
you were also in Romania, so
yeah.
it's like
What?
you guys.
You
No. I'm saying you guys should have turned it to like Jump, and then everybody would have been like, "Oh yeah."
Right.
But and the Cradle Will Rock. It's like, but I saw that clip, and I know what you mean.
But I mean, they knew all the words to our songs, you know. You think Van Halen is like, you think everybody in the world knows every Van Halen song from the first 5 albums, you know.
Right.
But it's not like that, you know. You know, we travel, you know, a bunch of us travel for a living, go all around the world, and you know, people online just think they're where they live. That's the way the whole world is. But no, different markets, different countries, they're all so different. And some of these places, especially when you get to, you know, Eastern Europe or Asia or whatever, you know, their upbringing is so different from the stuff that we grew up with and the music and stuff like that.
I always tell people, it's like, get a passport, go see a piece of the world that you've never seen. Just do it, you know. But nah, they won't.
It completely changes the way you hear everything, see everything. It changes your life. I mean, it really does. And I think that's one of the things, and all that comes out of why do we feel the way, why do we all have opinions? Because this thing shaped our life, you know what I mean? And it's crazy.
And even like, you'll see these big metal festivals, you know, 50, 80,000 people, and like Manowar is headlining. Whereas here in America, Manowar might play to 1,000 people if they're lucky. I found that even when I was like playing with Twisted Sister. You know, Twisted Sister was headlining, you know, Hellfest or Grass Pop or whatever, you know, it's just the markets over there are just so much different in a lot of cases for a lot of bands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really fucking weird. It's like, I mean, the only parts of the world I see is when I go on those cruises and I get off the boat to get some food, you know, because I'm fat. It's what I do.
You're like, oh, Playa del Carmen.
Yeah, right. All right, where's a bar? Awesome.
It looks just like LA. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, especially in Ensenada. Here, let's do this. First half of the show brought to you by Beater Amplification. That's 2 E's, beateramplification.com. 100 watts of testicular fortitude, 3 channels, old school Metallica, Kiss, Uncle Ted tones, and that clean ass fucking Fender tone as well. These things are so fucking killer. Hit them up, beateramplification.com. Hit them up on Facebook as well. And our good friends over at Mackie, wanting into home recording, wanting to get into podcasting. Hit up Mackie, Mackie, and hit up the studio bundles. Very affordable way to do it. They give you everything that you need. That's Mackie, Mackie.com. I mean, we should talk about these 3 records a little bit before we get into the second half.
Why?
When
we've got a whole era of non-makeup Kiss to talk about.
Oh, dude, I'm down.
The topic of the show.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm
out.
Call Jericho.
Yeah, exactly. Put up the Jericho signal. You know.
Later.
I mean, when you look at these 3 records, which one of the 3 stands out to you guys?
For me,
Wow.
Go, Joe.
No. I'm
because
just saying.
The album, like, are you talking about the covers or the music themselves?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
both.
Yeah,
it's impossible to, because each cover represents awesomeness. Like
that's true.
It's like I can never say Love Gun is better than Rock and Roll Over or Destroyer is better than Love Gun. They just. I actually said this. I would buy these without any music inside of them. So there you go.
Would we all agree that these 3 Kiss records is the best 3 in a row the band have? Like, if you were going to introduce somebody to Kiss, would you say check out these 3 records?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first 3 are so special as well. And we talked about those in depth with the last time.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, they really fell into their own with these 3. You know, the first 3, they were still finding themselves, and then they blew up from Alive.
Yeah.
And then I mean, these three are Kiss in their prime. But I will quickly say, you asked like, which is your favorite? I've always assumed of these three, this is my favorite. Rock and Roll Over was always my go-to of these three.
Me too.
But I'm really curious now that we're gonna like go track by track, if it's gonna hold up. I mean, this was always my go-to answer, and same with Dress to Kill from the first three. But when you go track by track, like we're about to, it's maybe not as cut and dry as just picking one, because we may find out going track by track, well, wait a second, you know, this I thought this was my favorite, but I wonder how many of these track by track I'm going to put over the other two.
Yeah, it was.
I think.
Like,
go ahead, Paul.
Oh no, I insist.
What? Oh, I was going to say that Rock and Roll Over, as far as a complete album, it's the best album that they've ever made, because I don't think there's a bad song on it. And that's including Baby Driver. Don't give me no fucking look, dude. That's a great song.
It is a great song.
So are we
It's an
saying
amazing song.
before we even start this, myself, Charlie, and Roy all said, just calling it off the top of our head, that this is our favorite of the three. Is that?
Yep.
So three of us are saying that. Paul and Izzy, what do you?
I was just gonna say, for me, the iconic album, and I find the way I look at music changes a lot as I get older too. But for me, the iconic album was always Destroyer, because it was that like scary, you know, I got into Kiss because of Alive 2 and like the blood coming out of Gene's mouth. Destroyer had that hard edge to it. Now at this point in my life, I would say Love Gun, and I just Love Gun to me is I Love Gun. Everything about Love Gun to me is like a Kiss capsule. I mean, that's the album to me that I'd say you could hand to somebody and go, here's your introduction to Kiss. You don't start somebody with Rock and Roll Over. I think the quintessential Kiss album for me is Love Gun.
See, I would say the quintessential of these three is Destroyer. This is the one, like, you know, Detroit Rock City, Beth, God of Thunder, Shout It Out Loud. I mean, these are all quote unquote hits. Yes. But it's not necessarily my favorite.
Well, we're gonna go, and this is gonna be where it's interesting when we go through them all track by track, because like there's hits, but it's also one big thing, and we talked about this last time, and I'm gonna like say it again this time. Roy and I were kind of texting a little bit, and it was interesting because for me, it's very difficult. You've got to disconnect the live portion of the songs from the actual album version of songs. It's really hard, just skipping ahead. It's hard for me to listen to God of Thunder and not picture what happens during that song live. Gene descending from the rafters. And it's just like, and honestly, it's trying to disconnect that from the song is hard after you've been paying attention to the band for 40 years a certain way, or 45, 50 years a certain way. And that's a really big challenge when we're looking at all these songs.
Well,
like
look,
what part of it is like, do I have a memory in my head linked to of seeing them live when I was 18 years old? You know, did I cop a feel to some girl during that song at Lake Compounds in Connecticut? You know what I mean? It's like you start thinking about that stuff, and it kind of clouds the way you listen to the songs.
Well, I mean, for me, because, you know, for the sentimental value, I mean, it's got to be Destroyer.
Oh, and by the way, I never touched a boob until I got married, just for the record.
Okay. Because I remember that Christmas Eve, you know, I got it, I opened it up, and I was just like, oh my God. And, you know, I put it on, and I'm looking at the record cover, and I jump up on the couch, and I'm doing the Gene pose on the couch. You know, that album is just so ingrained to me sentimentally, but now, I mean, it's so good, but maybe it's so good because you know, I mean, we've all heard them all, you know, a million times, but maybe that's the reason I like Love Gun now.
Well, my sentimental attachment is to Love Gun because that was the first tour I saw him on.
Yeah.
So that has a sentimental attachment for me personally.
Is that why I love Hot in the Shade?
Oh God,
no, is it?
Oh man.
Oh God.
Oh, just gonna go to the chat room really quick. Scotty from Canada says, I haven't watched that Sons of Apollo DVD yet. I really gotta crank it to see how that Cradle audience part. Been cranking the CD, but not the DVD yet. Brian from Chicago Says the 3 best studio albums and Kiss Alive and Kiss Alive 2. That's what you would give to a new listener.
I agree.
Argue with that.
Yeah, Alive 1 would be the if I could only give one album to somebody, it would be Alive 1.
Yeah, me too. Brandon Fields, who was on here last week, doing the Ace thing with us, says Love Gun takes the win. Amber says Love Gun to me is the best of all time. Of the
Wow,
three.
I'm shocked to hear this.
Like,
Me
why?
too.
I'm very surprised.
Why are people saying Love Gun? Because for me, I'm being serious now.
Yeah.
There's only five good songs on that record.
Because you get a gun with it.
Rock and Roll Over.
Yeah.
That's the only cool stuff. That's the only cool thing about it. To me, is that
I
there's
just
a lot of clunkers on that record.
I see. I feel that way about Rock and Roll Over.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And here we did this. So we did this.
That's a pretty cool looking
when
cover.
did we?
That cover's my favorite. I love that
this cover.
We did this about 3 or 4 months back with Rock and Roll Over versus Love Gun with Dave Ellefson, Don Jameson, and Chad Stewart, and Andre from The Real World, and Love Gun won.
Wow.
And it was just Rock and Roll Over versus Love Gun.
Did Dave Ellefson pick all Megadeth songs?
Yes.
That's another, because we're referencing an old when we did Injustice for All versus Rust in Peace. Dave Ellefson was on the show, and he just picked every Megadeth song. He's like, I got to represent the home team, and he's like, and I got to honor the Big Four, and he just went Rust in Peace all the way down. He's like, I love Metallica, but so that's So Ellefson picked all Megadeth.
You should have had a Metallica guy just to balance it. I mean, I'd be curious. To hear that. But
That would be very curious to see how it goes. But I don't think Jason Newsted would have been too happy with the way the bass sounded on that record, so that might not have been the way to go.
Yeah, right.
I love that bass tone. Love it.
Got a lot of body to it.
Go up, boom.
Jesus Christ.
These are jokes. These are jokes.
I know. These are jokes. What are you drinking, Izzy?
This is a Miller Genuine Draft.
Oh wow, the can looked like, I was like, what is that? It looks
I
like
know,
a Coke.
they changed.
It looks like
Coke Zero.
It looks like Coke Zero, which I know you wouldn't be drinking.
Absolutely not.
You guys ever see this Japanese version of this? It opens up.
I have not. No.
Look at this. A gatefold? Wow.
Holy
cool,
shit.
Right?
Oh,
I got this a few years ago when I was in Japan. I was like, whoa.
Wait, what is the picture? That's a strange picture, too, because Peter's not even in it.
Right? He's tucked in the back somewhere. He's right behind Ace Frehley's guitar.
Yeah, that was an omen right there. That was our first sign shit was going down.
Yeah. I've never seen that.
Cool.
Really? Yeah, I don't think this was like, it was awesome when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, I have to have it.
That's what I love about this. It just shows it turns into show and tell.
Yeah.
Charlie, I don't have it on vinyl, so I couldn't pull it out. But didn't Anthrax? You had a Rock and Roll Over spinoff cover, didn't you?
Yeah, for the Kings of Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland, Scotland. Yeah.
Gene Simmons said, "I love this. You guys promote Kiss more than Kiss."
Oh, at the break, that reminded. I have a Metallica fan club shirt. Because they would put special issue shirts out for the fan club, and I have a fan club shirt. It's the Metallica on the Rock and Roll Over cover, though. That's a cool shirt. Yeah. I'll bring it after we break. I'll go grab it. I just got to find it.
I'm still trying to figure out how Love Gun is better than Rock and Roll Over. I just can't get it out of my head now.
Well, Charlie, facts are facts.
I don't know about you guys, but I always find myself skipping songs when I'm listening to that record. I don't skip songs when I listen to Rock and Roll Over. I listen to it from start to finish.
See, I'm the exact opposite.
Okay.
Once we get into it, we'll, we can make.
We're gonna get into it.
Oh, we're gonna
get into it.
well, fuck it. Let's go.
All right. Well, okay. Let's do this. Let's take that short 2-minute break and come back and dive right into it. We got Roy Mayorga from Stone Sour, Charlie Benante from Anthrax, Mike Portnoy from yeah, we know we've done this joke before.
Romania.
It is another fucking podcast
Metal Edge Magazine, baby.
Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to VinnyTortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at VinnyTortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Hey ladies, Sass Pants Designs will take that band shirt that everyone has and make it your own in a flattering, sassy, and simple way. There are one-of-a-kind tank tops, halter tops, lace-up tees, and tube top dresses already in stock. Check out the online store at sasspantsrocks.com and like Sass Pants Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for special offers and custom orders. Use the code IZZY25 for 25% off of your entire order at sasspantsrocks.com. That's sasspantsrocks.com. Let Sass Pants make you the envy of the party.
Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com.
A reading from the book of Paul, verse Crazy Nights, chapter Bang Bang You. I'm gonna bang you. I'll shoot you down with my love gun, baby. Praise be to Paul.
My rock and roll over Metallica shirt.
All right. Second after the show. Before we get into the second half of the show, make sure you guys hit up Rockin' Pod. I am going to be there representing Monsters of Rock Cruise and also representing another effing podcast. And yeah, it's going to be great. Going to have fun. I might have the voice of God with me. You just never know. There's a good possibility of that. And I believe the Sunday night, I'm going to do stand-up at Punchlines and Backlines. And it's going to be Craig Gast, Don Jameson.
They're opening the shows for us. It was very exciting back then because there was a
What am I hearing?
What am I hearing?
Yeah, I'm hearing somebody. No, it's all good. It's all good. And Courtney Cronin Dold. So we'll be doing a Punchlines and Backlines out there. Going to try to do some other stand-up while I'm out there. So make sure you guys come down and check out Rockin' Pod. It's going to be a great time. Second half show. Yes, it is. Second half show brought to you by AP Laser. Hit him up. Oz has recovered from his stroke and he is laser engraving again. So hit him up. Mother's Day is that this weekend? Shit.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I should probably get on that. Yeah. Mother's Day is coming up. Father's Day is coming up. Graduations are coming up. Hit up aplaser.com. Also look into the studio bundles, not the studio bundles, but the roadie packs, which are a tumbler and a Zippo type lighter and a flask and a dog tag, all with the Another Effing Podcast logo on it. Very, very affordable and very, very cool. And actually can have your name on it. These guys are so good. They can laser engrave a hot dog bun. I've seen it done. Also, our good friend, John Palumbo, johnpalumbodesign.com. You have a band, you have a business, you need a website, you need a logo. Hit up our good friend, John Palumbo at johnpalumbodesign.com. And ladies and gentlemen,
look
up.
Just
in time.
It's gonna get real now.
It was like he waited for all the small talk. Oh, they're gonna do 40 minutes of bullshit. I'm just gonna show up and
get my votes.
I just
ladies and
figured I'd
gentlemen.
jump in to give everybody the right answers before it got too late.
Here it goes. Ladies
Eddie, you
and
need to
gentlemen.
know that I represented for you. I told everybody that Unmasked was a great power pop record.
It is. Totally is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
If I've learned nothing more from Eddie Trunk, it's that UFO are the greatest band ever, and Unmasked is a great power pop record.
It is. Does anybody dispute that that's a great power pop record?
That's a turd.
It's not a great anything record. It's not even a great Kiss record. How's it going to be good? Hey, I just realized when we took a break, we said that Romania, there's going to be pissed off Bulgarians. That DVD was from Bulgaria. And I can see the YouTube. I want to make sure I get that right, so I don't offend an entire country.
He just did.
Yeah.
That's because Eddie wasn't here to correct us.
Right.
Maybe that's why they didn't know the song. That's why they didn't know the song, because it wasn't Romanian.
Right. Of course. Romanians know Van Halen. Come on.
Of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a proper introduction. He is the Jim Rome of Rock and Roll Talk Radio. Welcome. Give him the vine. King Edward Trunk. Welcome, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry I'm late. I fell asleep. I took allergy medicine, and I just woke up.
Hey, that works.
On the allergies.
He was listening to Unmasked.
Yeah.
Right.
Followed by Carnival of Souls.
So now, actually, I like that. That's the grunge
That's
one,
the
right?
grunge album.
I like that album. It pops up every once in a while in my iTunes when it's on shuffle. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm always like, wow, this is not bad.
I can find something redeeming in just about every Kiss record, except for the last two, which I never listened to.
So Eddie, we three of us blindly said that this is our favorite, but without going track by track. But myself and Roy and Charlie all said just off the top of our heads, Rock and Roll Over is our favorites. But going track by track is going to be a whole different story.
See, Mike, here's the thing that I've learned in my years of rock and roll is one, you never give a drummer a microphone, and two, you never trust the opinion of a drummer.
Oh.
That being said, I would agree of the three records, I'm on board as well with Rock and Roll Over being the best.
There you go.
All right.
And Izzy and Paul, you said
I said Love Gun.
Love Gun.
I said
and
Love
Izzy,
Gun
did
as
you
well.
ever pick one?
Yeah, I picked Love Gun.
Love Gun, okay.
Yeah, Love Gun.
Rock and Roll
So
Over may be my favorite studio Kiss record ever. Actually.
Yeah, maybe. But now that's incredible that nobody just flat out picked Destroyer, where I think most people probably would have.
I think that's our snobbiness as Kiss geeks,
right? Because
that's such a go-to, amazing fucking record. But that's like, that's one of the ones give it somebody when they're starting to listen to Kiss.
You know what? I think one thing about Destroyer that I wouldn't say ruins it for me, but I think Detroit Rock City ruins that album because it just takes over. That's the song that you remember from Destroyer. Whereas Rock and Roll Over, God, Dr. Love is on it. I Want You. Should I say Baby Driver again? I'll say Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. Well, what about Beth, which was huge for them? Not a favorite, but it's huge. What about
huge.
Shout It Out Loud?
Yes. The Nighttime World, God of Thunder, Flaming Youth.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is more than Detroit Rock City. I think.
Way more.
Yeah.
I think
Well, no, what I was going to say real quick, the thing that's interesting to me about Destroyer, which I never knew until I read this book that came out a few years ago all about Destroyer, is that there was a huge backlash among Kiss fans at that time. I mean, that record predates me being a Kiss fan. I was a little too young.
I know that.
But there was a huge backlash. As much as that record is celebrated, there was an enormous backlash to that record because of the orchestration, the production, the choir, all that stuff. That Rock and Roll Over was a reaction to that, of Kiss getting back to more what they sounded like live and raw. Yeah. I never put that together until I read this book recently, but now I get it.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, but the most incredible thing, just quick, it'll be super quick. This is a year and a half right here.
Right.
These two are 76 and this is 77, and that's insane. That's like like insane. But anyway, Charlie, I'm sorry.
No. I was going to say Cream magazine had a lot to do with the backlash of Kiss. Like they loved Kiss in the beginning, and then all of a sudden they just turned on them. And I think that's where a lot of that came from. But I would say when I say Detroit Rock City, because that was the song from that record. Beth, of course, happened later on. But, for me, Detroit Rock City, of course, God of Thunder. But when you see God of Thunder live, it's so different compared to that version on that record,
I was just going to make a snarky comment about how you could have a backlash before the internet, because it takes people so long to catch up to the backlash. By the time it happens, it's like, but I also think somebody said earlier, they made the comment about the snarky response, not the snarky, the snobby response would be to go to Destroyer. I actually think like for true fans, and again, what I was talking about, for me, I just think Love Gun's the quintessential record. Like it's hand that to someone to introduce them to Kiss as far as studio albums go. I think Rock and Roll Over is the real Kiss fan record because it's stripped down and it's not all the gloss of Destroyer and all the hits. It didn't have like the iconic per se. I think it's more of the fans album than some of the more obvious choices. Like the big fans album.
If you look at it, like if you go chronologically, if you were a Kiss fan from say day one, back when they first came out, again, interestingly enough, Rock and Roll Over was my first ever Kiss record I bought. Or no, I'm sorry, Destroyer was, but Rock and Roll Over was the new album at the time I got Destroyer. But if you think about it, you think of the first three records, then you think of Alive, and Destroyer being the follow-up to Alive, you could understand how it would be jarring to fans who knew the first three studio records and then Alive, and then you hear that. That's why people always thought it wasn't even them really playing on the record, because it was such a different thing. But that's, of course, the world of Bob Ezrin. And then Rock and Roll Over is the complete snapback to getting back to the raw live Kiss sound, which they actually did record it live, which is crazy.
Yep. Going to the chat room really quick. Steven says, I have a lot of love for Rock and Roll Over. And Amber says, Great Expectations is a weird track on Destroyer. But Amber, there's that amazing line, and then you stand and clutch your breast. That line makes the whole fucking song right there, because there's titties in the song. So God bless you, Gene. Praise be to Gene.
Let me, before we go track to track, let me just ask you guys, I don't know if you guys did this yet already, but this is actually a great question because all three are great in my opinion. But what's the best album cover of the three?
Ooh, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
I said earlier,
if you think about it, all three really are great though.
Yeah,
they are, but that's my favorite. Oh, come on. Ken Kelly. Yes, of course.
My answer earlier
That's
was,
great.
if you had asked me that 30 years ago, my answer would have been Destroyer. But at this point in my life, I think Love Gun. I feel like Love Gun is a lot more who Kiss is than Destroyer. But when I was a kid, Destroyer was the iconic one because Kiss were dangerous. They're not remotely dangerous to me anymore. And Paul Stanley's a lover, not a fighter. And I would go with Love Gun.
See, the thing
Ken Kelly did Love Gun and Destroyer, right?
Yeah, he did them both. Yep.
He did.
But he didn't do Rock and Roll Over.
No.
See,
he was too busy.
Rock
He
and
was
Roll
too
Over
busy
is,
doing the Anthrax Scotland record that inspired Rock and Roll Over.
Didn't Dennis Wallach?
I'm looking at now. Michael Dorrit.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Michael Dorrit.
See, the thing that I loved about the Rock and Roll Over cover is if you have an extra set of those stickers that came with it, you can put one on the back window of your car right in the middle. And then after you wash it like 5 or 6 times, it wears off.
Oh, Mike,
you have the next one on.
This is the reissue, but they did the reissues right. Like I was just showing in a break, me and Roy were talking about Love Gun. Like the Love Gun reissue has the snap gun, and it's got that really cool inner sleeve with the blood. And Alive 1 and Alive 2, the reissues they did with the booklets and the tattoos and everything. I mean, they did them right when they reissued these on vinyl.
It's weird.
Wait, is that the reissue of Love Gun you're holding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing came in Destroyer, right?
No.
Yeah, a form to order.
That came in everyone.
Hey, Eddie, you ever see the Japanese? You ever see the Japanese version? It opens up.
It's got gatefold.
Whoa, Roy, that's wild, man.
That crazy?
Is that an original or is that?
That's an original Japanese print. Yeah.
So when it first came out in Japan in the 70s, that's what it was?
That's what it was.
What's the gatefold though? It looks like just Ace and Gene. Can you see everybody?
It's
not Peter.
It's Ace, Gene, and Paul.
Oh, I
but
see.
Peter's behind that guitar.
Wow, that would have been awesome if they did that in the American one. That's amazing.
Right?
Charlie, that's killer. I
see
forgot.
that, Charlie? Let me see that.
That's that.
Oh, okay.
That is that. He's right.
See, I didn't buy the red cover. That's the remix, right? The red cover.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, I actually
the remix the Destroyer Resurrected, the Ezrin remix that he couldn't really fully remix because he couldn't find the tapes.
So
did you read the liner notes on that?
No.
He says in the liner notes that there was a bunch of stuff he wanted to do, but he was limited to what he could do because he could only source a certain version of the tapes and couldn't get into all like the tracks or something. If you read the booklet in it, he talks about like what he couldn't do based on the source material he had available.
I don't think mine comes with it.
You know, it's funny. I was working at Universal when they were doing those reissues. When they did the box set with all of the when they redid everything. I was just, I was a temp gig, doing fucking metadata, the Lord's work. And fucking, I almost weaseled my way into the project, but they were already too far along in it. But me as a Kiss geek, I was trying to tell them, it's like, look, you want to try to get everybody to rebuy everything they already fucking have. You got to put something different in there. You got to change it up a little bit. Yeah. Still give them all the old shit, but give them something different. Like one of the ideas I had was, for like on Animalized, put in the DVD of Animalized Live Uncensored, which was never released on DVD in the United States. I thought it would have been something cool, but boy, was I wrong, because those things sold really well.
I think a lot of people want a replica of the original stuff. Like I have all the originals, but they are the ones that I listened to in the 70s. So they beat the crap. My Love Gun was taken by my teacher in 5th grade, So I think people wanted to relive the original versions, that as they were put out.
Yeah.
My Love Gun, I remember you snapped it one time and then the paper ripped.
Yeah.
And I used to have to put Scotch tape on it to try to keep it together. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, mine got taken away by my teacher as well. As soon as I did it.
Damn teachers.
No poppers in my class.
Jesus Christ.
Popper. It's a love gun.
Today you'd be 4 years old.
It's not a popper, it's my love gun.
That's what I said.
Today
got really mad.
This is how bad it is today. You'd be 4 years old and bring your Kiss love gun to school and get fucking thrown in jail, cuffed and stuffed, put away for 15 years for a terrorist threat.
Actually, we should have all went to Cadillac High School. Then we would have been okay.
That's true.
There you go.
Kissland.
That's right. All right. Should we do this?
Let's do this.
Should we start?
I didn't even prep. I didn't even look at this. Because I think I wouldn't have been able to sleep if I actually.
I have to prep because I prep to the extent that I make the score sheet.
I didn't write anything.
Yeah,
I didn't prep at all. I just woke up.
But
I'm not gonna lie. I had an hour drive back from the studio today, and my intention was to listen to refresh. And then Andy Gould goes, "I'm gonna drive with you." He made his driver drive home alone, and he drove with me instead. And I'm like, "Really?"
Well, I didn't prep at all, but now I'm looking at this for the first time. The first song is this is impossible. The first song is unbelievable. This is incredible.
So here we go. We'll start. So
hold on, Paul. Let's preface this for everybody that's listening that maybe didn't listen to the one we did last time, or we're doing it the exact same way. Put them in order: your favorite, your second favorite, and your third favorite.
Yes,
because there's a scoring system.
Yes. So as I give the tracks, the first one's going to be off Destroyer. The second one's off of Rock and Roll Over. Third one off of Love Gun. Always. Okay. All right. So track number 1. Oh, and Eddie, just so you know, just because we needed 10 tracks, Eddie, just so you know, there's only 9 tracks technically on Destroyer. Rock and Roll Party is going to be the 10th track.
Oh, all right. That's okay.
All right. So it gets to go up against a cover song. So, okay. So we've got
This is wrong though. This order is wrong.
Yes, I went
Okay.
off the orders. Yes, I went off the correct orders.
Wait a
What I
second.
thought was-
The track listing on the back of Love Gun is not in sequence?
No.
Yeah, well,
it's
neither
not.
is Rock and Roll
Oh,
Over.
wow. Look at that. I don't think I remembered that.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Over is wrong too.
What I referenced off of, I took off the iTunes list, the iTunes versions of the albums.
Okay.
That's
The
what I
way they
did,
actually
because
ran.
Yeah.
What? Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the
they're right.
order they actually were heard in.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Well, let's do
Which
this.
makes the first one unbelievably difficult.
All right,
Yeah,
this
this
is gonna be
first track
great.
is
I purposely
impossible.
didn't
All
listen
right,
to any of it.
track one, Detroit Rock City versus I Want You versus I Stole Your Love.
Ugh.
Fuck.
All three of
Should
Paul.
should we take an hour off to think about it and then come back?
There's nothing harder than of the
Wow.
6 first records.
That's
This might
really
be the
hard.
hardest thing of all.
Yeah.
Well, who's going first?
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna bite the bullet. As much as I love Detroit Rock City because I can play the solo, I have to put Detroit Rock City third. I Want You second, and I Stole Your Love first.
Wow. Who's
All
next?
right, you know what? I'm going to go next just
All right.
because I thought it was going to be an unpopular opinion. That's my order. I Stole Your Love 1, I Want You 2, Detroit Rock City 3rd. That's my order also.
See, you guys are discriminating against Detroit just because it's the biggest
No,
of the 3
no,
songs.
no,
You're
not at all.
penalizing it for popularity.
No, not at all. Not at all. I
That's my
love
number
Detroit.
one.
I love Detroit Rock City, but I Stole Your Love is the very first live Kiss song I ever saw. And I Want You fucking rules. It's just like, what rules more? To me.
So the thing for me, one of the things that I really wanted to do was figure out, try to disconnect the songs from the live experience also, which is really difficult to do. I mean, the live anthem versus when I'm sitting listening, what song do I like the most?
I mean, for me, I think Detroit Rock City is number one because it has so many amazing elements in it. It's got that great harmony guitar part that the two of them do, and to me, that's an opener. That is probably the all-time greatest opening song. As soon as you hear it, dan, fuck, dude, the hair on your arm just stands up. So for me, it's Detroit Rock City, and then I Want You, and then I Stole Your Love.
I'm with Charlie. I agree on everything Charlie said. Detroit, I mean, again, it's easy because we're all such geeks and know every track. It's so easy to penalize Detroit because we're burnt on it, but you step aside from it. Every single thing about it is amazing, from the dramatic buildup to the beginning to the everything about it, to the end with the car crash. I mean, everything. So I got to go Detroit. I Want You. I Stole Your Love.
Me too. That's my order, chronological. I mean, like Charlie said, Detroit's the ultimate opener, plus the theatrical sound effects opener that we talked about at the start of the show. But I mean, the fact that it's probably been in every single Kiss show since 1976 says something about it, And I Want You is amazing. I Stole Your Love, I have a sentimental attachment to because the first show I saw Kiss, December 14th, 77, that's what they opened with. So yeah, I mean, I have a memory of that, which was really sentimental, but really this is the order. And it's interesting because all 3 are Paul songs.
Mike, my first Kiss show was 2 nights later, the last of those 3 nights. Let me ask you this real quick, because I had Michael DeBar on my show today. Did you see Detective open or Piper?
I was there 2 nights. I saw both. And then before that, I saw the Rock and Roll Over, and it was it Piper or some band?
Oh,
no, that was
New England
later.
was
That
79.
was later. I thought it was a band called I thought it was Detective or Doc Holliday or something.
Wouldn't have been Detective because their album didn't come out yet, but what's weird about it, because Michael was saying today, he goes, well, we opened for Kiss at the Garden, but Kiss did 3 nights in December, and the last night was Piper. That was the night I was there. That was for sure. But the 2 previous nights were probably Detective.
I saw 2 nights.
I got the ticket stub right here.
Yeah, but it won't the opener. The ticket stub never had the opening act on it then.
Shit. No,
Because back then the opening acts were unknown bands,
Yeah.
unlike now where there's 3 openers because the headliner needs to help sell tickets.
And I'll tell you a little Detective. I knew Detective because there was a radio commercial for a club called Speaks, and they used to use a piece of that Detective song.
It was almost like Whole Lot of Rosie.
Yeah, and what was the name of that song? That Detective song?
Right.
It was very Zeppelin-y.
I remember that commercial.
They were on Swan Song, Charlie.
Yeah, they were on.
Signed
Yeah, they were
by Zeppelin on Swan Song.
Wow.
I have that, Mike.
Yeah.
That was when at the Garden they used to hand out the buttons,
Yeah.
and then people started flipping the buttons from the Blue Heaven, and people were getting their heads cut on the floor, and then they switched to those cloth patches instead.
Roy, you haven't gone yet.
I'm gonna go with "I Want You," Detroit, "I Stole Your Love." And the reason why I pick "I Want You" first because, well, "Rock and Roll Lover" was my first record. That song is very special to me because I just love the sound of that opening track, the drums, the punches. It's got a great groove.
Yeah.
I mean, Peter sounds awesome on that song, and I love Ace's guitar solo in that right before the last, chorus and verse. It's amazing. So
did you ever hear
that's my number one.
Did you ever hear the Kip Winger version of that?
If I Want You?
Oh, dude, with Paul Gilbert. Holy
no idea you did.
fuck.
Galactic Cowboys did a cover of too.
Yeah, Kip slayed on it. Kip fucking slayed on it. Anyways.
Track 2?
I Want You. Track 2. Track 2. King of the Nighttime World. Take Me. Christine 16. I hope you weren't making a 16-year-old Christine, because that's kind of weird.
Hey, I've been lonely. Kidding.
I mean, I'll go first if you want.
Go for it.
I got King of the Nighttime World first, Christine 16 second, and Take Me third. That is my I love King of the Nighttime World.
I do too.
That is one of my favorite off Destroyer, and that's one that honestly just over time it has grown on me so much.
That's a cover?
Yes.
I did not.
Yeah.
Is that a cover? I did not know that was
actually
a cover.
Which is
Didn't
crazy.
Kim Foley write
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, but I thought it was a co-write. I didn't realize it was actually a cover because
They did a slight rewrite to it, but there's actually a version of the song that exists prior.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you go
wow.
on
I forget the name of
YouTube.
the band that did it, but there was a band that actually recorded it.
Did Paul write the original version also, or no?
No,
Because
Kim
Paul was a
Fowler.
co-writer, right? So Paul just wrote on the Kiss version. He didn't write on the original version.
Right. It's kind of like when they did "God Gave Rock and Roll to You" and called it "God Gave Rock and Roll to You 2" and
Gotcha.
took writing
Okay.
credits on because they changed some words. That kind of deal.
Gotcha. All right.
Copy. I had to pull up my my lightsaber for the Star Trek geek in the house, Mr. Trunk. Let's I'll go. I'll go King of the Nighttime World number 1. Take Me number 2, and Christine 16, as cool and eerie as it is.
Creepy as it is.
Very creepy.
Yes. At number 3.
I'm with Izzy. I'm following Izzy's on that one. I'm definitely King of the Nighttime World, Take Me, Christine 16. It's so crazy to me. Charlie and Mike, you can remember this. I mean, I remember like WABC radio, like AM, playing Christine 16 when I was a little kid on the AM radio.
Oh, wow.
It's so nuts when you think about that and you listen to the lyrics in that song. I saw you coming out of school that day and all that shit. And here I am, like 13 years old on AM radio, like, having no idea how sick that
I
is.
tell you what,
We all did.
I was talking before about how I listened to Casey Kasem on 70s on 7.
Roy too. I keep forgetting Roy's New York too. I forget,
And
We all
Christine
are,
16, Christine 16 shows up in those American top 40s, and to hear Casey Kasem, and this is the latest from the rock band Kiss off of their Love Gun record. the song Christine 16. It's their latest smash right here on American Top 40. And
Can you do that in Shaggy's voice?
No, I cannot.
He did
I don't-
Shaggy's
but
voice.
Yeah, I know. Look, I don't smoke weed. I'm an adult. I do cocaine.
Isn't there a line? Isn't there a
joke,
line
everybody.
isn't there a line in "Take Me" too that says "Rape me any way you can"?
Yeah.
Which it's like
Is
how
it
many of these
really?
kisses-
Yeah.
I believe it's "Rape
There
me
is.
any way you can." Yeah.
I mean, that has the poetry of "Put your hand in my pocket, grab onto my rocket." I mean,
Yep.
that's-
Right, exactly.
That's Dylan right there.
I mean, so many of these Kiss songs just couldn't happen in 2020. Rape me any way you can. Okay. There's a Marilyn Manson. There's a Marilyn Manson cover in there somewhere. I'll say it. Okay.
Paul, the lyric is "break me."
Is it "Break Me"?
Yeah.
It sounds like "Rape
Take me,
It's-
break me
I think-
any way you can.
I think "Rape Me" is better than "Break Me."
I agree.
Take Me is a kick-ass song, though, man.
It is.
I mean, now I'm thinking about it. It's so
great.
but I still holding true. Who's next?
Who's
I'll
next?
go. King of the Nighttime World, Take Me, Christine.
That's four in a row with that order. Chronological.
I love King of Nighttime World. Actually, that song I played in a drum recital when I was like 7, 8 years
Oh
old.
wow.
At the
Of course you did.
at the music store. I'm like, I gotta play that song. I actually played to the Alive version actually because it was a little bit faster and it had the crowd. So it was pumping through the PA, had the crowd going. I was like, this is great. So yeah.
How
that's
crazy is it that they
my number one.
opened? How crazy is it how they opened on Dynasty with that song coming up out of the floor? That was pretty cool.
With
They
Take
did?
Me?
No,
Yeah,
King of the Nighttime
King of the
World.
Nighttime World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
World, yeah.
That's awesome.
And Ace got feedback, and then it just started. It was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
It was a cool opening. You didn't see
the
that
coolest
coming.
feedback ever, man. It's the best.
And you
sound.
didn't see that coming, given that like Dynasty was like the disco pop record, but they opened with something so cool like King of the Nighttime World. That was amazing.
Let me ask you guys, how many songs off of Dynasty did they play on that tour?
I Was Made for
2.
Loving You, 2000 Man.
That's it.
They didn't do Sure Know Something or
No.
wow. But they were also covering the solo albums on that tour too. So
Right.
That's
They
right.
had-
You were saying. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool.
Can I go?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to go chronological just like everybody else, and I love King of the Nighttime World, but Take Me is one of my favorites. And it's always been like one of my favorite like forgotten Kiss songs. It's the one song I always wish was on Alive 2 or that they played it more. So I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna put Take Me, King of Nighttime World, Christine 16. And I want to say one thing about Christine 16 with two drummers here. This has one of the most deceptively difficult intros I've ever heard. Did we talk about this last time? We
No,
did. Okay,
we've talked about this.
Okay.
This whole thing.
Listen,
It is
to
a
this,
weird
like,
intro.
Show me where the one is. Check this out.
Do it again.
You think it's there, but that's
Do it again.
it's one of those songs like I'm Free by The Who, where you can't find the one. Check this
It's
out.
right. It goes.
Here we go. See, Charlie and Roy, see if you could give us the one.
Okay.
I can't hear it.
That's a really hard. Oh, are you going to get flagged because I'm playing music in the background?
Yes, I'm going to get actually I'm going to get an email from Gene Simmons. Mike Portnoy broadcast.
Kiss would never go after somebody for anything like that.
That is one of the most deceptively difficult.
You can't be playing my
Kinda
songs.
like Drive My Car too has one of those as well. But yeah, that's a really tricky intro there.
Do you think it's because it wasn't recorded like with a fucking with a meter and it was just
No, it's because they're starting on the upbeat. Like you're hearing the
okay,
bass.
okay.
You're hearing the bass, you think it's 1 and 2 and 3, but it's actually and 1 and 2.
Gotcha.
It's like Panama.
Gotcha.
It's like Panama.
No, the only reason I asked that is because
That same weird beginning.
There's this dude on YouTube that he took Van Halen. He dresses up like a doctor, and he took Van Halen, the original, like Running with the Devil, but he put it in Pro Tools and like actually tightened it up so it was like in time.
No, this isn't time. It's just starting on an offbeat.
Gotcha. And also, I'm going to go to the chat room really quick. Tall Bear says that where the fuck is it? Oh yeah, Kiss like Detectives so much they did a demo with Peter Criss singing "Detectives Ain't None of Your Business." I did not know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, thank you, Tall Bear. Appreciate it. So take off.
Charlie, you haven't gone yet, right?
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, I'm kind of agreeing with Mike on this. Where "Take Me" is just like, man, it's just such a rocker, and it's one of Paul's best songs. And King of the Nighttime World just has that awesome twin harmony lead, and it's just, man, I don't know. I don't know what. That's a hard one.
They're both great.
I'm gonna go with "Take Me" first, and then "King of the Nighttime World," and then Christine.
That's the right answer.
I want to
You know
change
what's
my
weird
answer
about
now.
"Take Me"
Fuck.
is that it wasn't on a live 2, given that every bootleg I ever saw or heard, they did play it a lot.
They did.
But for some reason, it was not on a live 2. There's
It
a
was
couple
recorded.
songs.
Do You Love Me
There's
as
a couple
well.
songs they played a lot that they could have made a live 2. They didn't have to do the studio side of a live 2 if they just included the songs they actually did play that they didn't put on the record.
Well, there is a bootleg version of a live 2 that has "Take Me" and "Do You Love Me," maybe one or two others as well on there.
Oh, really?
Like you know, they had mixed it and almost put it out and then just didn't use it.
Wow, that'd be cool to have.
There is that live version of live version of "Take Me," quote unquote live version of "Take Me" on the that "You Wanted the Best Greatest Hits" record, which is completely, like, you could hear it's completely a re-record. It's so blatantly like canned. I think there's even they even cut in the "You Wanted the Best" intro, and then they slam into the song like as if they opened with it. It's like it's the most bogus, like, pieced together studio thing as a live thing I ever heard, actually.
Didn't they do "Take Me" on that Tokyo '77?
I think so.
The HBO show?
No, the Kiss, the one that's in the Kissology box, I think.
Yeah,
right?
but that was the HBO show. That was supposed to be alive too. That recording was supposed to be alive too. That's why you hear "Take Me" and "Do You Love Me" on those bootlegs of it.
We all know now that a live 1 or a live 2 were not even live, so they just could have recorded anything they wanted.
Just the drums and vocals,
right?
Just the drums and vocals. And
I didn't hear
the banter.
I don't think the banter, but not the vocals. I think that's all redone.
So drums and banter. So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Still sounds great.
Love it.
All right, ready for track 3?
Yes, sir.
Track 3. Got a Thunder. Calling Dr. Love. Got Love for Sale.
Ooh, that's hard.
That is hard. Two of Gene's greatest. Well, actually, "God of Thunder" is not even Gene's. Paul wrote that.
Right.
I'm sure I don't want to play it and get you flagged again, but there's a great version. There's a great version of the "God of Thunder" demo on the Kiss box set with Paul. You know, it was almost like a Paul disco song.
It's good. Yeah, I kind of like it.
But obviously, "God of Thunder" is always associated with Gene, and so "Calling Dr. Love" as well. I think "Calling Dr. Love." I recently saw that movie Magic Mike, and that it was in Magic Mike. Hey man, that was a good movie because it was Steven Soderbergh directed. But
Dr. Love is in a male stripper movie?
Yeah, with Matthew McConaughey dancing to it and everything. But when I heard it in the movie, I was like, this is nearly a near perfect fucking song. I mean, it's a really well written song. I love the guitar solo. I love the riff is great. I think it's it's one of those songs everybody knows it, but you write it off. I think it's a great one.
The guitar solo is evil in that.
Guitar solo is evil. The way Peter Criss comes into that song, it's fucking awesome. It's like Nirvana. Yeah. Well, Nirvana's like that, but it's just has that fucking vibe. That's my number one. Dr. Love.
I gotta agree with him on that. Yeah, that's my number one.
What's the other songs?
God of Thunder and Got Love for Sale.
I think we can figure out.
Does everybody say Calling Dr. Love is their number one?
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm calling Dr. Love, God of Thunder, Got Love for Sale. That's mine.
Yeah,
that's my copy Mike on this. Yeah,
me too.
No,
Yep.
I have to disagree. I have to go God of Thunder at number one. I fucking love God of Thunder.
I was on the fence, Izzy. I could have went either way on that. I mean, these guys sold me on Dr. Love in the last 30 seconds, but I originally was going with God of Thunder.
Yeah, and Dr. Love, of course, second. But I think Got Love for Sale is a very underrated fucking Gene song.
For a reason.
It's Got Love for Sale, dude. It's a great fucking tune.
It's a good song.
Great song, but it's just
not calling Dr. Love.
Exactly.
The cool thing about Got Love for Sale is the, I always love when Paul and Gene sing together.
Yeah.
And they do on that song and that chorus. You really hear Paul in the chorus. I love when they really stopped doing that not long after that. But I loved when they harmonize on choruses like that.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. When they do "See You in Your Dreams," they do it really well in that song
Right.
too.
Yep.
It's awesome. Love it.
What, Charlie? What was your order? Did you not give an order yet?
Yeah, it was same as Mike.
We all agreed.
it's the same as-
Us three
so
agreed the
everyone
same
was-
thing. Yeah.
Okay. All
We all
three of
agree
you
on
agreed the same thing. And
Yeah.
then Eddie, where were you sitting on this one?
I'm on the fence really about number one.
You are number 6.
Izzy, you went God of Thunder first?
Correct.
And Dr. Love second. Okay.
Yeah, you know what, Paul? If you didn't log me in, then just actually put me at God of Thunder 1, Dr. Love 2.
See? Great minds think alike.
God of Thunder is just such. Again, I don't want to run into what I do sometimes myself, even on my own show, is when I do lists, is like I penalize the song for being overplayed or overplayed live or whatever. And I mean, God of Thunder is like stone cold classic Kiss song. It's not
heavy as
talk
fuck.
about a song. Talk about a song that's been in the live set since '75. I mean, it's the, even though it was written by Paul, it is the Gene song.
Did somebody say Stone Cold? What?
And when
What?
when you hear God
What?
of Thunder, you think of that picture.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
not this version, but that.
Yeah.
At least I do.
Hey, Roy, I just realized they're not in their Destroyer costumes in that.
Oh, no, this is the
No.
remix. This is
I
the
know, but
live-
I know it's
Yeah.
the remix, but you figured they would have at least kept the right costumes. That's
because
bizarre.
originally Ken Kelly made the cover this way, from what I heard, and then when they changed the costumes, he went and repainted them.
Oh wow!
With the other one, which I can't. Whatever, you guys know the other one.
So far it seems like unanimous, like not unanimously, but it seems like so far most of the people are going chronological for the first 3 songs.
Right. And the other of us are right.
I had a really it's a really tough one for me with God of Thunder, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I almost
Don't
put
say
God
Love
Love
for Sale.
No, here's the thing with God of Thunder. We talked about this earlier before Eddie was on. One of the things that really messes me up dealing with this, especially with Kiss more than other bands, is trying to separate the song from the live show. And God of Thunder is just one of the best live songs ever. I mean, with Gene descending from the sky and everything. And I kind of felt like I was giving the song extra credit for that. And it was really hard for me to separate that. But I still have Calling Dr. Love first. I love that song. I put Calling Dr. Love first.
The blood in God
Paul.
of Thunder. The blood.
Yeah, the drum solo. Yeah, we know. But can I just say one thing? Paul, you look like you're in the witness protection program over there.
It's so weird. I have an on. I have full light here, and I'm so over it, and I'm just
the light in front of you.
This episode, I just don't care. You know what I'll do? Here, I got it.
Pixelate his face.
You got this blue hue on you.
There you go.
There, now I'm on Kiss.
Look,
there you
Just
go.
flashlight my face.
I will say
actually
this.
say-
I will
It
say
would have been
this.
great if you would distort your voice too.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's an app for that.
And I'm like, I'm not going to worry about it this time. I've been literally, this is for weeks now. I've been going, what the hell's wrong? The lighting. I don't know if it's the LED or what. And I'm just like, I don't care. I'm just going to go through it.
Oh, Gargano to catch a predator.
Why
Yeah,
don't
you're
you
going to
have a
ask me to
seat
turn the
over
flashlight
here?
off soon. You're going to ask me to turn the flashlight soon. It's going to be like,
Dude, the one thing that I love about fucking God of Thunder is that fucking, especially the live version, that the drums in the beginning. I can't do it, but you know, there's that fucking beat. It's just so
It's faster too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking studio.
No,
version.
I know, but that's still the drums on the studio version too. But it's just I think they start sooner in the live version. But yeah.
Marlene just came in. She's putting the steaks on the grills. So we
Yeah.
I gotta tell her to hold off. We're only on the third song. I'm gonna text her to wait.
You're right.
We eat dinner in the Portnoy house at 10:30 at night.
I was about to say, you eat like Enrica and me hours. Holy
No,
cow.
we wake up at 2:00. We have dinner usually around 10 or 11.
That's
amazing.
Where the difference came in.
I love it.
Like when I texted you, I was just like, what do you mean you just woke up?
Yeah.
All right. So track number 4, I'm going to get beaten up on this one, I'm sure. We have Great Expectations, Ladies Room, and Shock Me.
Oh, ouch.
I'm going for Shock Me, Ladies Room, Great Expectations.
Same for me.
Me too.
I'm gonna be controversial. Shock Me number 1. I think that's easy, no question. It was Ace's first song that he sang. It was just so fucking cool. But I love Great Expectations.
Oh, I do too.
I do too. So I love the lyrics, the orchestration. I love the choir and the strings, and it's just so unexpected from them, which probably is a reason that a lot of people probably hate it. But I always really liked it. So I'm going to go Shock Me, Great Expectations, Lady Resume.
Am I up?
Go for it.
Shock Me, Ladies Room, because it has a lot of cowbell, and then Great Expectations. Tons of cowbell.
And I'm with Charlie and Izzy and Roy, and I'm the same exact thing. Shock Me, Ladies Room, Great Expectations. I expected Great Expectations to be more popular with people for some reason. I don't know why. I thought
Ladies Room has that thing we just talked about a second ago, that Gene Paul vocal thing too. For my money, that part, that's so great.
Right. Ooh, that is pretty awesome, actually. Damn.
I love it.
No.
And the drum fills too after each of the cowbell breaks. Oh man,
the advantage for me being in the dark is I can eat and nobody sees me eating because I haven't eaten all day. I'm just like shoving food in my mouth. Now people can see if I eat.
Why is Ladies Room on Alive too? And Take Me isn't. Go figure that one.
Maybe they probably felt that was a better song.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know?
Maybe it was politics.
I think it was cowbell. All right.
No,
number 5.
I agree with Ozzy, with Izzy. It was probably politics because of Gene's song over a Paul song.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
For balance, I bet you it was a balance thing. We know how those two are.
Yeah.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense.
Although, I mean, I think if any of the songs that was taken off of Alive 2, Do You Love Me is the biggest one. I think that's we'll get to that, but to me, that's the one that's most missing off Alive 2. Even though Take Me is like a personal favorite, Do You Love Me is like a classic, but we'll get to that.
All right. Track 5, because Marlene's putting the stakes on.
I told her to hold off.
They only need to cook for like 8 minutes. Okay. Right. Flaming Youth, Baby Driver, Charlie's favorite song, and Tomorrow and Tonight.
Wow.
Oh, this is hard.
Yeah. This is hard. Easy. This is the total opposite of the first track.
Exactly.
I think this is pretty easy. This is the easiest.
I think it's really easy.
This is an easy one for me.
Well, number 1 is easy. Flaming Youth, obviously number 1.
Of course.
God. Baby Driver.
Speaking of steaks.
What Baby Driver, what was the other one? Tomorrow and Tonight?
Tomorrow and Tonight. Yeah. That's me singing. It's going to help you vote for it.
You know what? We can hate on that song all we want because it's on fucking Alive too, and it shouldn't be, but it is catchy. I got to go with Tomorrow and Tonight, and then Baby Driver.
Tomorrow and Tonight is the sequel to the sequel to the sequel. So it's Rock and
Yes.
Roll All Night, Shout It Out Loud, Tomorrow and Tonight. That's like the three right in a row of those. They're all the same songs, basically the same tone.
That's the Return of the Jedi.
I'm Flaming Youth at 1, Baby Driver at 2, Tomorrow and Tonight at 3.
Okay.
Charlie's got Baby Driver at 1, doesn't he?
No, I have Flaming Youth at 1. And then Baby Driver, like Peter's voice on this song, Peter's delivery is so awesome. I mean, he's screaming at the end. He's awesome. Just amazing. So yeah, I got to go Baby Driver second. And then what was the third one?
Tomorrow and Tonight.
Tomorrow and Tonight.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the same. Chronological on this one as well for me. Flaming Youth, Baby Driver, Tomorrow and Tonight. I always thought it was a missed opportunity that Edgar Wright didn't use Baby Driver on the Baby Driver soundtrack.
Yeah. As soon as I heard about that movie, I'm like, oh, it's gonna have the Kiss song in it.
Great movie. Great fucking movie. Filled with tunes too. Missed opportunity.
Roy, where are you sitting?
I'm gonna go with Baby Driver, Flaming Youth, Tomorrow and Tonight.
Ooh, Baby
Your
Driver.
Baby Driver first.
Ooh.
Woo!
I love Peter Criss. I love that song.
Great.
I
vocal.
went with DLR. I went
David Lee Roth.
Flaming Youth. Yeah, David Lee Roth. Flaming Youth, Tomorrow and Tonight, Baby Driver third. But when you do it in that order, you get DLR. Some David Lee Roth action. DLR.
You know, it's amazing. At the top of this, we all said our Rock and Roll Over is our favorite record, and so far, like the Destroyer tracks are clearing the deck. In the top
absolutely.
spot.
It's and that's the problem, because you could like the album more, but when you put the songs up against each other, it's just there aren't many Rock and Roll.
There's a reason why Destroyer's Destroyer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it destroys.
That's why you get paid the big bucks, Izzy.
That's
that
right.
there. That astute commentary. All right, so we're at the halfway point. After we turn the vinyl over, we go to track 6, where we have Sweet Pain, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em.
Flaming Youth, I think, opened.
Flaming Youth, second side.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Well, only
Flaming
because
Youth
there's
did on the other-
odd songs on it.
only because it was only 9 tracks. So with the exception of that, when we flip the other ones over, so it's Sweet Pain, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, and Love Gun.
I'm going first. It's fucking Love Gun, obviously. And then it's Sweet Pain, because that song fucking rules. And then that horrible fucking pile of shit.
What? You don't like the Don Kirshner?
Totally.
footage? Come on.
Yeah.
And Love 'Em, Leave 'Em.
I totally remember seeing that.
It's
That's
right.
right. Them. Yeah.
That's what was my introduction to seeing him live for the first time.
Terrible. It's
No.
fucking terrible.
I'm with Izzy. I'm the same way. I'm with Izzy. I'm just doubling up on what he said.
Man, I mean, we all picked, well, not we all, but a lot of us picked Rock and Roll Over. But when you go track by track, it's no contest, really. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Love Gun. It's like Detroit Rock City, played out to death, but it's a classic. It's a great one. But I'm gonna go Love 'Em, Leave 'Em second, and then Sweet Pain. I'm gonna go reverse chronological, because I liked seeing that video of them doing Love 'Em, Leave 'Em. When I was a kid, it left an impression on me.
Yep.
I agree with Mike. I that same order. Love Gun. I Love 'Em, Leave 'Em again. There's the Paul and Gene Love 'Em, Leave singing thing.
Yeah.
Insanely cool guitar solo in that. In Love 'Em, Leave 'Em. It's insanely great. And then Sweet Pain is my number 3.
Go for it.
Roy.
Charlie and Roy.
I'm going with Mike and Eddie. That's my order.
There's something I need you guys to hear. This is very, very important. Not this. God damn it. Come on. Skip. Here we go. All right. Anyways.
So like I said, I'm going with what Mike and Eddie just went with.
You guys went with Love Gun first, right?
Love Gun first.
Love 'Em, Leave 'Em, Sweet Pain.
Love 'Em, Leave
They
'Em,
did
and Sweet
Love.
Pain. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I got to go with Love Gun too, because it's just such a standard, Kiss standard. Although I think they stole this song from Led Zeppelin, but
They did.
Which song? Which song?
And Led Zeppelin
Achilles' Last
stole it
Stand.
also.
Achilles' Last Stand.
The end of Achilles, yeah, the drum lick, yeah.
I was like, that's too familiar.
Ah.
But I love and Leave 'Em, because seeing them on Don Kirshner was like, that was such a great moment. And then the third song, I like Sweet Pain too, man. It's a really good song.
Dude, that fucking
you know?
guitar. It's so
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Like Ozone. It's like
Yeah.
That's killer. Yeah.
Now, isn't it true that Ace didn't play the lead on that song?
He
Right,
recorded
and the
he-
remix, in the remix version, they put the lead he actually did play in as the extra track.
Correct. Isn't that Dick Wagner playing that?
Yeah,
Yes.
and in the liner notes, Ezrin actually says that now he's like, now that he found the Ace's lead and restored it to the one version, Ezrin actually wrote in the liner notes, he's like, and now that I hear it, he goes, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Ace's lead. And that was just me being like exercising my muscle. He's like, there really would be nothing, it was totally more than fine to have included on the record. So Ezrin actually copped to that on it. But yeah, I just watched the Don Kirshner's rock concert of those Rock and Roll Over songs again.
Amazing.
You know what's really, I know we didn't get there yet, but you know what's really kind of gay is the in Hard Luck Woman, Paul and Ace playing the same double neck guitar, standing behind each other. Like, what was up with that? Like, whose bad idea was that? It's ridiculous. Like, nobody's ever talked about that. The two questions for two recent Kiss questions that I can't get answers on, which of course I could if I asked Ace, but I'm trying to figure this out, that came to me recently that nobody can understand. Why two guys sharing a guitar, standing very around holding each other playing guitar? Whose idea was that? And also
Bill O'Coin, wasn't he gay?
And so was Sean Delaney. And so
No, they're just
was
trying to
Sean
keep the
Delaney,
they're trying to
who
keep
did
the
all
guitar
their
intonated.
Sean
Trying to keep the
Delaney did all the
intonation.
choreography, so there you go. But the other thing is, and this has nothing to do with nothing, but maybe some of you guys know, because I honestly don't have an answer to this. And a caller asked me about it the other day. Why? Is Ace's guitar upside down on the cover of Alive?
Because he's holding it back. He's just
Yeah.
holding it.
It's a pose.
Yeah.
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 He's just posing. Charlie, was that Neil Hamburger? Charlie?
Wait, what?
Were you doing Neil Hamburger with that Y? I
No.
Why?
Anyway,
Wow.
That Ace thing is just a pose, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Charlie, what do you have second and third? Charlie, what's your final order? Not to cut off before I forget to write it down.
Love Gun. What was the other song?
Love 'Em and Leave 'Em
Gun,
and Sweet Pain. You never gave 2 and 3.
Yeah, Love 'Em, Leave 'Em, Sweet Pain.
Okay, now you can resume.
And why is it every Kiss video, promo video, Gene plays with his fingers and not with a pick? And
Yeah, that's weird.
it's like every single promo video, he plays with his fingers, not with a pick. It's like, why?
Did he ever
that's
play
odd.
with his fingers live?
No, he's a pick guy.
Always with a pick.
Yep.
You know what's interesting to me so far? We're the only 2 tracks that we all agreed on were both Love Gun songs. Shock Me and Love Gun. That's the only chance. Those are the only 2 songs where we were all unanimous in our first choice. And we have not had a unanimous 3 in a row yet. There's always dissent.
Huh.
Wow.
The other real quick, the other weird thing about Love Gun is the fact that Paul claims he wrote it when he was in high school. So why did it take till the 6th studio album to show up?
I thought he said he wrote it on a plane.
Why does he play bass on it?
Really?
Paul plays bass on Love Gun?
Yeah.
That.
Wow.
Wow.
Huh.
Oh, I know why. Because Gene I think the Gene in the videos is not really Gene because Gene died in a mysterious accident. That's the fake Gene.
Do you know?
Are we gonna start? Let's start that room. We'll have to do an episode where we just tell that story.
Charlie, Gene couldn't find his pick. That's why Paul had to play bass.
Yeah. You know, Derek Sherinian did some Kiss tours playing keyboards behind the stage, and his entire audition for Kiss, he shows up and Gene says, play the beginning of Love Gun on keyboards, one note, and Gene said, okay, you got the job.
Oh, that's great.
Wait, hide behind that curtain and play the beginning of Love Gun.
That's pretty
amazing. That's funny.
The guy before Derek, real quick, the guy before Derek who had that gig, Gary Corbett.
Love Gary.
Gary's awesome. Gary did the Crazy Nights tour and
Hot in the Shade.
Hot in the Shade.
He did Hot in the Shade, yeah.
But Gary told me a hysterical story once about, he was obviously to be heard and never to be seen. And they did a show on the Crazy Nights tour in Italy. And I think he said it was Italy, somewhere in Europe. And it was for a TV broadcast. And one of the guys in the crew shooting the concert for live TV didn't get the memo that Gary's not to be filmed. And the whole concert, there's Gary, and there's a camera in his face, and he's playing to it like, wow, this is great. And then after the show, they lost their mind because one guy is like, oh, there's another guy playing, and they're shooting him equal. He's cutting equal. Kiss was a 5-piece that night.
Oh,
wow.
and
Oh my God,
I can't believe this. I am going to one-up Eddie Trunk. So there's, and Gary confirmed that this happened. So on the Hot in the Shade tour, when they did God of Thunder, that mouth opened up and
yeah, I know that too.
And the thing, like the inside of the mouth moved and it looked like it was singing. Well, Gary had like the backup vocals on his keyboards, but he forgot to change the patch. So in that middle part of God of Thunder, when it's supposed, I am the Lord of the Wasteland, he hit the keyboards and it went forever.
I heard that story too.
Why couldn't that happen when everybody is cell phoning? Like that had to happen where there's no copy of it. It's like,
by the way, both of those stories regarding Gary Corbett may be why Derek Sherinian ended up getting the next tour.
So Derek should be sending him Christmas cards every year. Yeah,
that's good.
Although Gary said it was because they cut his money and told me how to ride on the crew bus, and he was like, "I'm out."
Damn.
And Derek said, "I love crew guys."
Yeah.
All right, track number 7. Shout It Out Loud, Mr. Speed, and Hooligan. And Roy, I think the insidious laughter, Roy should have to go first.
I mean, is this not? Wouldn't this be unanimous? Well, let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I would think it would be unanimous, but we'll see.
Wait a minute. There's a
I
guy
think
on the screen right now that played Hooligan with Peter Criss.
No, not me. Well, because Peter played the drum. Peter played my drums and played it.
Ah, it's awesome.
Party, did you not play next to Peter while he did it?
We played Rock and Roll All Night together, but Hooligan was just Peter on my kit.
Was Ace out for that too?
No, Ace played that too. It was Ace and then Bello and Scott and Bumblefoot. But yeah, that you picked that song. Didn't Peter let you pick it, or did you tell me and then I told him?
No, Peter's wife asked me if I had him do a song, which one would I do? And in all honesty, I did say Hooligan, but I meant Baby Driver, and I screwed it up.
Well,
I tried to get him to. This is weird because I tried to talk Peter into us all doing Black Diamond together, and not Rock and Roll All Night. And Peter and Ace refused to do Black Diamond, not with Kiss, which I found really a strange, the fact that they respected them. And I think it was Ace that was like, I don't want to do Black Diamond if it's not with Kiss.
I don't want to piss Gene off. Yeah,
maybe.
But what we're talking about for people that don't know is 8 years ago for the 30th of my FM show, there was a party and Ace and Peter showed up. Mike coordinated all the music, and a bunch of bands played, but the big moment was Ace and Peter played together, which to this day is the last time they've ever played together on stage. And I remember watching that, and like, I remember Ian was there, and Scott was just in the side wings to the stage, like with the biggest smile. And all the years I've known Scott, just like looking like he couldn't believe it. And then John Pasquale from the Hard Rock, who ran the Hard Rock at the time, who put that whole thing together as far as letting us do it. It was supposedly kept a secret from me that the two of them were going to play for me, but I knew what was coming. You know, I was somewhat involved, and
Can't
those
stump the
guys
trunk.
told me. And I don't know, Mike, I don't know if you witnessed this, but everyone was like holding their breath backstage to see Peter and Ace see each other for the first time.
I was there. Me and Frank Bello were hanging out talking before sound check, talking with one or the other, and then the other walked in, and me and Frank saw them see each other and hug each other for the first time. That was their first time seeing each other in like a dozen years or something like that.
And it was Frankie who told me that when they saw each other, it just was like Ace just really casually just goes, "What's up, Cat?" And Frank said he just lost his mind, like just like that simple, like little, just this seeing the greeting and Ace just being like, "What's up, Cat?" And Frankie said his head just exploded.
It
Like,
was insane for that. Me and him were standing to witness that moment in person was just incredible.
You guys banned me from my own party. I couldn't come in early. You were like, "Stay outside," because we got surprises, and I missed all that.
That was a great night. Great night. I mean, playing with those guys was surely one of the highlights of my entire career, big time. And I know, Charlie, you've played with them and done so many things with them as well. But for me, that was like game over, you know?
I remember we were in the dressing room that night just talking to Peter. Remember, we took a bunch of pictures with him.
Yeah.
I love Peter.
He's such a sweetheart.
So
a sweetheart.
great.
Yeah. But yeah, Hooligan, they played that night. Was that the only time Hooligan had ever been played live? Did Kiss ever play Hooligan live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the Love Gun tour, I think they did.
I don't recall that. Well, it was special. But
because you know what? I think they did play Hooligan because I remember there's some bootlegs and Paul Stanley announces it.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I got to eat steak soon, so I'm going to go first. To me, this is a no-brainer. It's Shout It Out Loud, Mr. Speed, Hooligan. As much as we're giving Hooligan props, it's not my favorite Kiss song, but I think Shout It Out Loud is an all-time classic. I think it's a great song, and it's also strangely placed in the sequence, like track 7, like the third track on side 2. Like it became such an anthem and such a classic. It's just a strange place in the album sequence.
Yeah, I gotta fuck. I want to put Mr. Speed number 1 so goddamn bad, but fuck
I am.
But
me too.
Shout It Out
me
Loud.
too.
Shout It Out
I
Loud
am.
is so fucking good. The Paul and Gene, switching off vocals. And then Hooligan third.
I'm going Mr. Speed. I love that song. I love the riff. I love the vocal. I love everything about that song. It's the closest Kiss ever came to like a Southern rock vibe, but I love that song. So Mr. Speed is a clear number 1 here for me.
Wow.
Shout It Out Loud at 2, Hooligan at 3.
I'm going to go with Mr. Speed first. It's on that the record I'm putting out, the Silver Linings record. It's
nice.
Mr. Speed is on it because
Nice.
it's one of those deep cuts, but to me, it's one of the stars of Rock and Roll Over. And I only like Shout It Out Loud on Destroyer. I don't like it live. It loses something for me. I
agree
I
with
don't
you
know.
on that.
Yeah, and I like Hooligan too. I think it's a fun little song that gets placed somewhere on Love Gun. But it could have been on Peter's solo album.
Yeah.
Would have been better on Peter's solo album.
So what's your order?
The order is Mr. Speed, and then God, I just forgot.
Shout It Out Loud.
Shout It Out Loud. Hooligan.
Shout Out Loud, Hooligan.
Izzy already went. Roy, how about you?
I'm gonna go with Shout It Out Loud first, only because I mean it's an epic track and it's got a lot of energy, you know. And as much as I love Rock and Roll Over, and I do love Mr. Speed, I have to place Shout It Out Loud first, and then Mr. Speed second. Hooligan, I'm not too crazy about that tune, but I wouldn't skip it if it was coming on, you know, next on the next song, you know. I like Peter. I love Peter Criss. So
yeah.
But that'll go
God,
last.
I'm gonna be so unpopular here, but I'm doing it, and I'm trying to remove the live element from it for me. I'm actually going Hooligan first. I love Hooligan. I got such, and again, I would have never said this 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I'm developing such a soft spot for the Peter stuff. I've got Hooligan first, Shout It second, Mr. Speed third. And that's not a slag on Mr. Speed. It's just, I really like Hooligan. Hooligan, it's a fun song. I think somebody else said it was a fun song.
Mike did.
That's where I put it. And Shout It to me, I like Shout It, but to me, it's more of a live staple than it is like it's a song I look forward to on the Destroyer record.
I think Shout It Out Loud was almost like them trying to write another Rock and Roll All Night, which I find so strange. Once again, the sequencing, like I'm shocked that it didn't close the album. It's really strange placement in the sequence, but I think it's definitely a Rock and Roll All Night type of anthem.
Paul,
that was the trilogy: Rock and Roll All Night, Shout It Out Loud, Tomorrow and Tonight.
Yeah, Paul. What I love is that you're developing that love for Peter. Pretty soon you'll come to the dark side and realize that the Peter Criss solo record is the most underrated Kiss album of all time, bar none.
Wow.
That's you matter to me.
And when I admit that, I'm sure it's going to be sitting on a psychotherapist's couch trying to figure out, so how long have you been working with Izzy on a podcast?
A psycho circus couch, Paul.
Couch, yeah.
What's next?
So I've actually started doing the math so you could get to steak quickly, so I don't have to do math at the end. I'm caught up with the counting now.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So track 8, we have Beth, See You in Your Dreams, and Almost Human.
This is easy.
Who said this is easy, Roy?
I'm gonna go first. Look, I'll go first. The smash hit Beth, you can't argue with it. A hit is a hit is a hit is a hit. That it's number one. Almost Human at number 2. See You in Your Dreams at number 3.
So, okay, DLR. You're David Lee Roth in it. Okay, DLR in it. Okay. I'm like DLR. I've got David Lee Roth and the Little River Dan for LRD. Okay.
I can go. I'm going Almost Human at 1.
Wow.
Insanely dark.
It's a great song.
Most insane guitar solo.
It's got congas.
Everything about it is so sinister. See You in Your Dreams, Beth.
Wow. Okay. Little River Dan. That's okay.
Just the growl Gene lets out in the beginning of
that intro. When I heard that, 1977, that was like the heaviest thing. I was like, oh my gosh, so heavy, so heavy.
It was a guitar solo. The guitar solo is like out of the Munsters or something. It's like the sound. The sound is insane.
Lele.
This is a tough one for me, actually.
I had a friend that took Gene's growl at the start of that song and looped it, and it just like every time we get in the car, you crank it like and run like 6 times. Ugh. It's insane.
Who wants to go next?
I agreed with you. I'm Beth, Almost Human, See You in Your Dreams. So that's
you're agreeing with Izzy, Paul, right?
I'm agreeing with Izzy, yeah.
Me too.
Izzy said who wants to go next, and I agreed with Izzy. But yeah, See You in Your Dreams is a distant third. Like that was a real distant third for me.
See You in Your Dreams is so good that even Gene re-recorded it for his solo album.
Yeah, that year. That's so bizarre that it's on his solo album as well.
It's
like
softer, actually.
Only like a year or two later.
Yeah. Was it his song?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to agree with that. I mean, but look, I love Beth. It's enough. Once again, like Shout It Out Loud, Detroit Rock City, Love Gun. It's played out. It's a staple. It's a classic. But I'm not going to hate on it because of that. It's a great fucking song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those rare cases where the drummer or the least likely person in the band ended up getting the band's biggest hit single. Which is,
and it saved the band. That song saved the fucking band.
And the instrumental version of it is in Wet Hot American Summer as well. So it gets bonus points for that as well.
And we all know the best version of Beth is on Kiss Unplugged.
No.
Can I just pause for 1 second before you answer that? Did anybody else hear Rika? Does anyone else hear Rika fighting with Alexa in the background right now?
No.
Yelling. Okay. All right. Just wondering. All right. Because all I hear is Alexa, stop. No, Alexa, stop.
Charlie, what do you got?
I like See You in Your Dreams. That's like one of my favorite Gene songs because it's so English. It's like a Beatle-esque song. And the way Gene and Paul sing on it is awesome. But I also love Ace's lead on that song is so amazing.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
I just think that's one of those songs that it's a deep cut, but it's really good. And then I got to go with Beth because it's a good song. I mean, and it did save them. And I don't know. I think that's it. The third song, it doesn't matter.
Well, it would be almost human in this particular exercise.
You know, I'm gonna.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. It's Almost Human. Yeah. There's a good solo in that.
It doesn't
too.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
I only put Beth third. I'm not hating on Beth. It's just such an anomaly in the Kiss catalog that it is what it is.
Ed, you said it yourself. You can't put popularity.
No, I'm not. I'm not putting popularity. I'm putting just the difference of like what the whole rest of the Kiss catalog was up to that point. It just doesn't even seem like it's Kiss because no one's on it but Bob Ezrin and Peter. And it's like
I mean, it's like
it's the orchestration with the drummer singing.
It's like Yesterday. Like Yesterday's just Paul McCartney and strings. Same with Eleanor Rigby.
Yep.
Or it's like if you look at like To Be With You or More Than Words, it was kind of a similar thing for Kiss with that song. Became
but
it had nothing to do with
I mean,
what the band was like.
Yeah, those songs at least had a few members from the band on it, but this was like literally Bob Ezrin and I think Dick Wagner did some acoustic guitar and Peter Criss. And it's I'm not saying it's not a great song, and I acknowledge all the Save the Band and all that, but it just as a Kiss fan, it was just so counter to everything
It's not a Kiss song to you, it's a Peter Criss song. It's more of a Peter Criss song than a Kiss song. Maybe?
Yeah, fair to say. I mean, great song, Save the Band, acknowledge all that, but it just doesn't feel like
it's fair
Kiss to me.
It's fair.
That's fair. That's absolutely.
Really quickly, Eleanor Rigby live cover by the band Big Country fucking rules. I like it better.
That is a good
Beatles
version. Actually,
yeah, Roy, you go ahead.
I know that.
That whole album is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's great. I'm gonna go with See You in Your Dreams because I love that track. I love Rock and Roll Over. I love everything about that track. The drumming, the guitars, the vocals, everything sounds great on that. Beth, I love that song too. That was a kind of a hard toss up because, again, that's the drummer leading the band. I love that. The drummer has a hit, you know, and Almost Human, not my favorite song. So that's third for me.
Okay. Number 9. And by the way, I've consumed just for those keeping score at home, I'm about 1,200 calories worth of peanut M&Ms in on this podcast.
I need some calories.
I got a bag waiting for me when we're done. And
I'm addicted to these damn things and I don't eat all day. So then I get on this and I just can't stop eating.
I got some pesto waiting for me.
Mike, nice. I just heard Alexa say, Mike, your steak's ready.
I got a big ass ribeye waiting to go on the grill. It's almost 11 p.m. here.
I think Rika just started cooking. That's why she's fighting with Alexa.
I'm telling Maureen to put it on the grill.
Yeah.
You're almost done. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got 2 more tracks left.
Yeah, the amusing thing, like, see, Rika picks the most obscure Detroit bands she can think of, and then asks Alexa to play them, and then gets mad when she can't find, like, Alexa won't play them. She's just like, what?
Play Sponge.
I hear her now. I can hear her.
Track number 9. Track number 9. Track number 9. Do You Love Me? Hard Luck Woman. Plaster Caster.
Ooh, that's rough.
This is a tough one. This is a really tough one.
Oh, that's
But it's
super
not
tough.
that tough. But it's not that tough for me. And I'll go first. One of my favorite Kiss songs. And I'm sorry if this is sacrilege. I love Hard Luck Woman. I just fucking love this song. It's my winner. Do You Love Me is a close second, but I love Do You Love Me. And Plaster Caster is a distant third. So that, for me, the order is Hard Luck Woman, Do You Love Me, Plaster Caster.
Man.
Hard Luck Woman. How about the double platinum version of Hard Luck Woman, where the doesn't kick in until after the next verse?
Yeah,
Totally
weird.
threw me. I can go. I'm going Do You Love Me, Hard Luck Woman, Plaster Caster. I hate to put Plaster Caster third because, again, it's got that Paul and Gene Harmony stuff going on. Great song. Hard Luck Woman is, you know, another Paul Stanley written, but Peter sung, great song. And a bigger hit than people think it was. I mean, that was a big song at the time.
Yeah.
But Do You Love Me is just a freaking
Rocks.
classic. And, you know, the Struts covered Do You Love Me on their new album.
Yep. The
And
girl
what was
version.
interesting in talking to those guys about that,
Love to hear that.
being a British band, they did not cover a Kiss song. They covered a cover of the cover, because for people who are psycho hardcore, you know that the British band Girl covered Do You Love Me, which was the band with Phil Collins of Def Leppard in it. And the Struts heard the Girl version. They didn't even know about the Kiss version. So they thought they were actually covering Girl. And when everyone said in America, oh, you covered a Kiss song, they're like, well, actually we did, but we really were covering Girl, because that was what they like that version better, believe it or not. So that's an interesting tidbit about Do You Love Me, but that's my order.
Don't forget about
Phil
Lewis from the LA Guns.
Yes.
Which LA Guns? Sorry.
The LA Guns.
Not as the now named Riley's LA Guns.
Riley's LA Guns. All right, who's next?
I'll go. Do You Love Me? I love Plaster Caster.
No, but I like you.
I love Plaster Caster. It's a song about fucking a plaster of his cock. How can that song
like
not
this
rule?
one?
I gotta go.
Well,
Plaster
it's about the Plaster Caster.
Yeah,
The
yeah, it's
woman
about her.
was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Plaster Caster.
Right, exactly. I have to go that second, and Hard Luck Woman is so great, but I put that third.
Oh, I love Hard Luck Woman. All
Who's
right,
next?
so how
Roy,
about
go
our three
for it.
drummers?
Hard Luck
We're all
Woman.
being so polite.
Yay! Okay.
Hard Luck Woman. Again, Peter sounds great on that. I love that song. I think I can listen to that song over and over. Do You Love Me? I love that song too. It rocks, but I got to put Hard Luck Woman first because it's just right out the gate. It's right in there. I mean, If Ever I Met You, right out the gate. You know, it just starts. Takes a minute for Do You Love Me to really kick in. I love that song too, but Hard Luck Woman's number one. Do You Love Me second. What was the last one?
Plaster Caster.
Third.
My love is in plaster.
It's a good song too, but it's not my favorite.
You could have
It's
just said
getting
you
a
agreed
little
with me, Roy.
shortchanged just because of what it's up against in this, but
Yeah.
Plaster Caster is a very underrated song, but
It
is going to,
I loved
because
when
of what
they,
it's up against, it's going
I
to
loved when they did it in Unplugged. It, you know,
Oh, it was so
give it
good.
some new life.
That version's great. I like
Yeah.
that version. That version's great.
Yeah.
I love the whole set list for the whole Unplugged show.
It's
amazing.
great.
They pulled
Yeah.
out some great. I love they did what was the Gene song from the soul
See You Tonight.
See You Tonight. What a
See You
great
Tonight.
song. Yeah.
I was there. Were any of you guys there at the taping? Charlie, you were
I was
there?
there.
I was not.
That was awesome.
Now, Mr. Ribeye, what do
Yeah,
you
my
got?
My claim to fame is I made Joe Elliott start laughing during the Def Leppard Unplugged one, and I got shushed. That's whatever, complete non sequitur, but okay.
By him?
Yeah, he's like I made a comment and he heard me, but so Charlie and Mike.
Charlie, you want to go?
Do you love me? Hard Luck Woman, Plaster Caster. Wasn't Hard Luck Woman written for Rod Stewart or something?
That's
Paul
the other
Stanley
thing. I love the
said,
sound.
right?
He sounded like Rod Stewart. I always thought that was cool.
But Do You Love Me has such a great opening. I mean, just the
it's
beat,
so good.
and then Paul does the rap, and it's just so Paul Stanley. It's just such an iconic Paul Stanley song. And I love when they did it on the reunion tour, they did this little piece where Ace and Paul do this harmony thing together.
Yes.
And it was so awesome. It's like, wow. Yeah. It's awesome.
And then the drums come in.
Yeah.
That was
great.
That was great.
It was great. So that's it. That's my three.
Right.
Three.
And Mr. Portnoy, Mr. Ribeye.
I'm the same. I mean, do You Love Me? Number one, it's one of my favorite Kiss songs ever. I mean, if you look at all these ones that we're talking about tonight, this might be maybe at the top of the list for me. It's just a classic. Hard Luck Woman is great. I totally thought it was Rod Stewart when I first heard it.
Maggie May.
So once again, I'm freaking myself out how I thought Rock and Roll Over was my favorite of these three, but yet like it is so heavily swaying towards Destroyer track.
Yeah.
But if you go song by song, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hold on. Amber just checked in. 'Cause I know, Mike, you want to go because you want to fucking eat. She just checked in. Didn't Girl get kicked off of a Kiss tour for covering Do You Love Me? I think it was they played Do You Love Me during their set and they were asked not to. Ed, you heard that story from Phil.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They were opening for Kiss, and Gene told them not to do it, and they did it anyway.
Wow.
There was drama. Yeah, for sure. And isn't that the song Nirvana covered too? Didn't Nirvana do Do You Love Me?
But their version of it sounds like they're making fun of it. It's just gross. All right, track 10.
Yeah. Track 10, Rock and Roll Party versus Making Love versus Then She Kissed Me.
This is easy.
This is the easiest.
This is easy.
I am going to go first. Obviously, Making Love. At number 2, that closing Rock and Roll Party from from Destroyer, and then She Kissed Me.
Are you being serious?
Yes, I
Being
am.
dead serious.
What the hell? I'm not sure what this Rock and Roll Party thing is. What am I missing here?
It's that weird. It's that weird ambient
it's
thing at the end
party noise at the end. It's not even a song.
Do You Love Me?
Gonna have ourselves a rock and roll party tonight. Yeah.
It's that weird echoey thing.
Yeah, they took a piece from
You want a
Alive,
little bit of rock and roll? Yeah.
and then they looped it. They just looped it. Yeah.
Like the end of Sgt. Pepper in the end of groove.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it was just to try to get the record to 30 minutes.
To get length.
Well, you take that out and take out the
don't even-
beginning of Detroit Rock City. I mean, that's a short album.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's easy. It's obviously the two songs and then the one sound effect. So Making Love, Then She Kissed Me, and whatever.
Same here.
Making Love, clearly the best closer if you're looking at it this way, not even close.
Making Love.
Troy
has
and
the
Charlie, you guys
greatest-
agree?
Making Love has the greatest drum fill that Peter's ever done. He goes from the
Yes.
smallest tom all the way to the biggest tom.
All 13 drums. All 13
Come
of them.
on.
Yeah.
Concert tom.
Making Love.
Izzy,
I
this
meant
is
to-
your last chance. Do you want me to keep your sound effect in the middle, or are you going there?
Absolutely.
Because he can.
That's
Yeah,
right.
What an unbelievable guitar solo in Making Love too. Ace just flies.
Awesome.
That Making Love is like usually the first riff I play when I pick a fucking guitar up.
Even the end of it, like the way it fades out, the riff. Oh, I want to go.
You can hear the room mics on the drums getting louder and louder as it's fading out. It's so cool sounding. Gush.
And he overdubs that piece too. You know,
What's
he
that?
overdubs that whole drum part. It's
Yeah, the
overdubbed.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Does anybody know why they did Then She Kissed Me? I mean, they didn't do any covers on any of these albums. Probably not since It's probably the first cover they did since the first album, right?
Well, no, because Flaming Youth, or no, King of the Nighttime World.
Yeah,
Actually,
but
I
nobody
think-
knew that was a cover.
Well, Flaming Youth is a cover too.
Is it?
By who?
Or it's written by somebody else.
Yeah, you're right. It was done by someone
actually,
else.
Flaming Youth is credited to Fraley, Stanley, Simmons, and Ezrin.
There you go.
Which is pretty strange that I don't recall any other songs that Ace, Paul, and Gene all share.
That's
credit.
weird because I've seen that credited to other people.
But I think Then She Kissed Me is the first straight up cover since the first album, right? But why? Like, where the hell did this come from?
Yeah, why?
Thought it was a good idea, I guess.
And close the album with it. It was really out of place.
All right. Does anyone have any predictions? Because all the math is done.
I haven't chosen mine yet.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
I'm
we
going
have
with
controversy. Roy is going to shift the whole thing.
Right, he's going to go rock and roll party.
No. No.
Roy is the swing state.
No. I'm gonna do Making
We've
Love.
got a hanging Chad in Roy's room.
Right. One more time. Making Love, for sure.
What else can it be?
Rock and Roll Party.
Yeah.
And Then She Kissed Me.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, that's all that's doing is showing how much you don't like Then She Kissed Me, right? That's gotta
Exactly.
Be the reason. Yeah.
All right. Can I tell you what that actually did?
It was a swing state.
That actually swung the whole. I have to recount now because that actually screwed up everything.
And I
That's
just realized,
controversial right
I just
there.
realized in one photo, I have every reason I am dying alone: the wrestling championship belt, the Kiss shirt, and the lightsaber.
And the Elvis pillows. The Elvis pillows
And the
aren't
Elvis
helping
pillows.
either.
Well,
They're
I
not
got
helping.
I have Elvis tattoos too.
I love those Elvis pillows. By the way.
Oh
Thank
no! Oh my God! It did not swing because the song it affected was so far in last place it didn't matter. So, does anyone have any predictions?
I think it feels to me like Destroyer won. That's what it feels like to
All
me.
right. So the final in third place with 103 votes, Love Gun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Love Gun with 103 votes. Now, the second place is 128 votes, and the first point is 129.
Wow.
So it was literally as
Wow.
close as it could possibly be.
What is it?
129 points goes to Rock and Roll Over.
Yes!
128 to Destroyer.
Yes!
Wow.
Wait, so
Yep.
Rock and Roll Over was won by 1 point.
By 1 point. Rock and Roll Over beat Destroyer by 1 point.
But Roy's vote didn't affect that. It would have been two.
No, well, what Roy's, it would have been a 2 point instead of a 1 point, exactly. And Love Gun was such a distant third, yeah. And the only, not counting Making Love, which obviously had no competition, interestingly enough, the only two songs that got unanimous votes in first place, none of us, there was not a single instance of all of us picking the same three songs in a row. It did not happen once. The only two songs that all six of us agreed on were Shock Me and Love Gun. And that still finished such a distant third, it wasn't even in the running.
Those are the best songs off of Love Gun.
Charlie, you know you
So-
can take a screenshot, right?
Yeah, I know. I want to do it this way.
He's old school.
Sorry, I'm just busting your balls a little bit. I can't help it.
So yeah, so I think now what we have to have is a Rock and Roll Over versus the big winner of the last one, which was the Kiss debut. That's
Well,
going to have to be
that or
Ooh.
Mike. Yeah, we could do that. And Mike wanted to do the solo.
I wanted
solo
to
albums.
do the 3 solo albums.
the three solo albums.
You're mean.
Let's do the 2 Vinnie Vincent Invasion albums.
Hold on.
Oh.
Do we want to give Rika just walked in? Do you want to explain why you hate Alexa so much? She won't play music for her.
That's a good reason.
Okay. All right.
What
That was-
happens
I
if you
expected it
ask
better.
if you ask Alexa to play Rock and Roll Party? What happens?
Yeah, Rika, ask Alexa to play Rock and Roll Party and see what she says.
probably play Wanda Jackson.
She goes, she won't listen to me. That's what'll happen.
No, what she probably says is, you guys need to get a life.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Excuse me, Mr. Stanley. We will not play that song.
Well, now that Mike
All right.
talked about eating steaks, I think I'm going to go light my grill. So I'm
Yes,
getting
absolutely. Well, hold on. Hold on.
You're gonna light. Are you gonna light your grill to make peanut M&Ms? Because
Let's
It's
close
dessert,
this-
Paul.
Let's close this up really quick. Paul, what do we got next week?
Next week we have actually undecided, but we are definitely next week. One of our things, we are going to have Charlie on the show by himself, talking about his Silver Linings project, and then we're going to do two shows next week.
Yeah,
yeah. So one of them is going to be Charlie by himself, a full show of him talking about Silver Linings, and we'll probably dive into some 40th anniversary of Anthrax. And I've been given permission for both, by the way, Charlie. I asked permission and got it. And then we are going to have a second show next week that will be, we are hoping Mr. Gilby Clark for half, and then I'm going to fill the other half in later. Because it was going to be Gilby and Charlie, but now we're giving Charlie his own show, so it'll be Gilby and somebody else.
Mike,
you're going to have to wait in some suspense.
Mike, how many records do you have coming out next week?
Yeah. You know what?
7?
It's weird because it's an easy joke to make that I've got a million bands.
I
blah, blah,
know.
blah.
Yeah.
No. I'm not mocking you, but I'm saying I'm actually looking at myself and looking at my calendar and like, wait a second, I got nothing.
Nothing coming out in May.
I got nothing. All my albums are out. I mean, I just finished a Neil Morse Band album that's going to come out later in the summer. But other than that, no touring. I got no albums in the pipeline. So I'm actually just waiting to go back on the road. I mean, the Liquid Tension Experiment album just came out last month, so I should mention that. And that was my reunion with John and Jordan from Dream Theater and Tony Levin on bass. And, amazing to do that. So I'll mention that. But for the most part, I got nothing lined up. I guess I'm going to enjoy another summer at home. But, man, I'm starting to lose my mind. So
Mike,
somebody take me on tour, please.
Mike, are you on Cruise to the Edge on the next one?
Yes, but that's not till next May.
Yeah, I know.
But
yeah. Hey, well, might as well promote it while we can.
Yeah, I'm on that, but that's next May.
Yeah.
Well,
Mike, may I suggest putting a phone call into Mr. Kotzen and Mr. Sheehan and start thinking about album 3?
I've made the call, Eddie. Now you gotta have the follow up.
Or what about Mr. Kotzen and Mr. Adrian Smith? I'm sure they need a drummer for when they tour.
Who's touring? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
right.
I know they're pitching dates, but I don't know if
they are pitching dates. I know they're pitching dates too.
I know they rehearsed they did some rehearsing with a drummer that some of us are friends with. But yeah, I mean, really, look, I'd love to play with any of my bands, any of 7 of them, but there's just there's no plans. I'm just waiting patiently, and I'm dying to play. I really am. It's starting to really hit me.
I feel you.
I'm actually excited because I'm going to see Eddie in person. He might not be as excited as I am about seeing me, but I'll be at M3. So, and I know you're hosting your night 1 of M3, right, Eddie?
No, I'm actually hosting all 3 nights. I don't know
all
why
3 nights. Okay.
They put in the ad mat fireworks hosted by Eddie Trunk. I'm I don't know, just standing there cheering on the fireworks.
Hey, what's the date of that? That's not too far from
July
me.
weekend.
4th of July weekend.
Maybe I'll consider coming down for that. That's not too far. That's pretty close to me.
I'm going to be.
Except on Saturday night with Queensryche.
Maybe I'll hit you up, Eddie, if I want to meet you down there or something.
Yeah, come down. I'll pick you up on the way.
Scott, really quick, Scotty from Canada, who is making his return to the Monsters of Rock cruise finally, says, Mike, Winery Dogs reunion for MORC 22.
I thought it sounded like you were going to say I'm Scott Ian from the chat room, not Scotty.
I would love to, man. I'm up for playing with any of my bands, especially Winery Dogs, but it takes more than me to tango.
You know what, Mike? If it doesn't happen, I'll kick Chad out of fucking Ack, and you can come play with my Ace Frehley tribute.
Okay.
Roy, what do you got coming? You got anything?
And suddenly Mike leaves to go eat ribeye.
All right, look, I'm really desperate to play, but I'm not that desperate.
You're like, come on. If it was a Peter Criss cover band, it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
Roy, what do you got, buddy?
Nothing right now. Still waiting on the sidelines.
There you go.
Nah.
There you go. And Charlie, you'll be on with us next week talking
You
about
guys that are
solo
musicians,
record.
I don't know what you're on the sidelines. Every day I'm getting another press release about a tour starting in like July or August. So
I'm
shit's
not involved in
happening.
it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Charlie, you
Tough.
don't
A
have
lot of
any-
these tours are reschedules from last year. I mean, that's the problem.
Right.
Like it's tough to put brand new tours together right now because I got a couple being worked on, and there's a lot of fill-in dates right now. But we just saw the Megadeth
Lamb of God.
Lamb of God their reschedule is happening this summer. That's one of the first big amphitheaters runs that we've seen announced. So,
all right,
I think that's going to be reduced capacity though.
Is it gonna? Yeah, Dave's got the power of God on his side, so there's that.
But if you think about it, I mean, if we're being realistic, I mean that's good for maybe 5,000 or 6,000 people. Like as far
oh,
as
it's perfect for a reduced capacity venue.
Right.
Yeah.
So at a 10,000 amphitheater, if they sell half the tickets, that's perfect.
Right. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys next week. We'll have 2 shows next week. One of them with the great Charlie Benante. Mike Portnoy, thank you very much. Floyd Mayorga, thank you very much. King Edward, thank you very much. And we'll get back and do this again and do those solo records and 2 more times, I guess, to do the winner from last time versus the winner from this time. We got to make it happen.
Oh,
make sure you call Portnoy. He really wants to do Asylum versus Animalize. Be sure to call Mike for that.
No,
right.
You guys know where to find Jericho. Jericho will be my
find
stand-in.
Absolutely. Make sure
May the force be with you.
Make sure you guys hit up all the social
George
media
Sports
at Real
is
Lizzie
big as
Presley.
Oi.
Instagram and Facebook, and of course another FM podcast on Facebook as well, and at Ace Tribute. Gonna pimp that
Come on,
logo
that's
tag.
the
Metal
first
Edge
shameless
Magazine.
plug.
Hold on, Metal Edge Magazine. Paul Gargano and Eddie. Don't forget to ask my question tomorrow to the great Nancy Wilson.
I will do that.
Another fucking
I would just like to
podcast.
point out that in no way, shape, or form does Metal Edge Magazine endorse ACK.
Hey, we'll see you guys next week. I say good day to you, sirs.
Later, guys.
See you guys.
Later.